Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big...
I really think that there's been a sorely missed opportunity for developers to take a step back from competition and take a step forward with community. And if they do that, I think we all win, because community, I would argue, is the one thing that no one's trying to solve. We're trying to solve recruitment. We're trying to solve competition. Tell me, where's community? Honestly.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Esports U. This is the quarterfinals of the NJCAAE. That's a mouthful of a name if I've ever heard one. Open Division Rainbow Six Siege League. Of course, it's the quarterfinals today. We have State Fair going up against... One sec. We have it's Hawkeye. Excuse me. I knew it was an unconventional college name, but it's State Fair Community College going up against Hawkeye Community College. And along with me for the ride tonight is actually a representative from State Fair Community College. This is Lil Goblin. He's representing SFCC and joining me on the cast tonight. Goblin, how are you feeling about the cast?
I'm nervous. I'm ready, but I'm ready. We have like a boatload of people in the cafeteria watching this right now, supporting our team. This is, I think, our second year having a team, so it's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. I'm super excited to hear that we've got a lot of people watching the broadcast live and excited, ready to go at State Fair Community College. And, of course, I'm sure that Hawkeye are excited to get this underway as well, as we had a little bit of technical issues getting into the game. Some servers weren't really working out for some people, so I believe for that reason there's going to be a substitute in this one for Hawkeye. But, you know, they'll make it through all the same, so it's not going to be too bad. We'll get through, as we actually also do have our maps for the series for tonight. We're starting on Oregon, so that's where we will begin, as that was, I believe it was picked by State Fair, and they'll be starting on the attack side. So, yeah, have you seen them on this map yet?
I've watched them several times on this map. I watched them all year last year, and then I watched them this year. They love this map. They are excited to have this map each time.
I mean, it definitely shows in the fact they picked it. They'll start on the attack side, as you know, Hawkeye got to pick the side they wanted to start with, choosing the defense. Their map pick was actually Cafe, so after this we will be heading to Cafe Dostoevsky, and finally the third map will be Clubhouse, yet to decide who's starting on what sides for that one, as you know how decider maps go. But we've already seen the ban phase come through, both the attackers banned out, and about to see both the defenders, Thatcher Habana off the board, and then Mira Kaid. So it's a pretty conventional ban phase from what you would expect. I mean, Habana's a little, you know, maybe perhaps a little unexpected. I wasn't personally anticipating seeing that myself, but, you know, they take it off the board, try to deny some of those hatches perhaps, but also taking the Kaid off the board to deny the denial of the hatches. So I don't know quite what happened there, but Hawkeye and State Fair, both excited to get into this one, as they'll start on the second floor for Hawkeye.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
It's a conventional operator lineup so far. Lobster, Colbinator, Wagons, Atlas, and the Outlaw are going to be the players for Hawkeye. As for State Fair CC, it's Catamander. How do you say that?
It's like Catamir. I don't know how to say his name.
Okay,
his name's always confusing. But we got Catamir as Flores. It's a dub as Lion. Kurik as Sledge. Hungy as Ace, and then Leviathan, he's going as Jackal.
Yeah, he just switched off the Thermite, it looks like. So they don't want to run the double hard breach. Just going to trust in that one ace they have. So it's going to be down to Hungy to get everything open they want to get open. If they want to go for Master, if they want to push from Attic, depending on how they go about this. As relatively conventional Hawkeye hold. Of course, it's not quite professional levels of holds. We don't see certain things open that maybe you'd see in some higher level matches. But of course, this is just an open division collegiate matchup. And as somebody who plays on a collegiate team myself, we'd love to think that we are capable of doing a lot of these pro holds. But most of the time, we are not good enough to hold stuff like that.
No,
yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, it definitely gets a little tough. As start of the round already could be 2 players coming to a head here as Colbinator playing inside of Trophy, about to get caught out. Has to run away, caught in the corner. As nice job Keurig getting in quick, but now Kolb might have 2 angles on his position at the moment. Leviathan gonna pre-fire that angle, peek away, but Colbinator able to get away. Just needs to get back onto the site and will do so safely. So the Legion burns a minute off the clock and is able to get back into the site. So really just a win-win. You waste the time, you keep yourself alive. You lose a little bit of damage, I guess, but that's not really that big of a deal. Because now it's only a minute 40 left for State Fair, and they're going to open up the Attic this time around.
As it's a dub, uses his lion.
Frag in there from Keurig. Not sure exactly what he was looking for there, but gets it to clear out a trophy instead of just using the drone. Possibly still worried about Kolb playing in there as Outlaw, holding inside of Attic. Dub's gonna try and push forward along with the EE1D, but he actually gets the kill.
Ooh,
Outlaw
he got
doesn't
it.
win the fight. A massive opening kill for Dub, and the hole's already open into the site. Gets a headshot.
He got a double kill.
Lobster gets that taken down, and now Colbinator knocked onto the ground. It's going to be tough, but Atlas is going to have to try and hold out all the same, in spite of how tough it may be. To toss a smoke canister in to Trophy. Kolb could get picked up here by Wagons, but Atlas really defending this alone because the other 2 are so far away. They're going to have to watch long angles into the site. Kids' room is open for free, so they could just try and run straight in as Hungy's going to get Atlas down. 5 versus 2, as it's been a bit of a clean sweep so far this round, and will continue to be
down.
so. Actually, Atlas able to get 1.
By it's a dub.
But Kolb.
Yes. Yep. And State Fair takes it in round 1.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job.
Nice clear.
Is there anybody that you think we should watch out for on State Fair? Is there anyone who's been particularly,
Keurig is a good one. He's pretty good. He's pretty crazy, but it's a dub is starting to look like he's wanting to take it from here as well. So
yeah, I mean, the more good performances, the merrier. Keurig definitely stood out as somebody who was able to take a lot of space very quickly. State Fair did a wonderful job just grabbing that space away from Hawkeye. Now, from Hawkeye next round, personally, as the neutral party of the 2 casters here, I'd like to see Hawkeye contest a little bit harder and really take some more of those fights. It felt like when they were in the fights, it was just State Fair peeking into them, as opposed to Hawkeye getting aggressive and using the peeker's advantage to their advantage. Just kind of, they were waiting for the peaks and they didn't quite get good angles, and State Fair were able to just win the fights.
Crazy fact about this is we played Hawkeyes last semester, and I think it was for playoffs, and we got beat by Hawkeyes last time. So it's kind of like,
was it close or was it a little one-sided?
I don't remember, but
okay.
But it was a good game.
All right, well, hoping we have another good one here as well. As already Katamir is getting in, puts the OSHA shield down, just trying to grab whatever space they can initially, establish that angle into blue. It's going to be a heavy blue hold and a heavy blue push for State Fair. This could be exactly what Hawkeye are looking for. Just holding the position down as heavily as possible and actually getting it pushed into by State Fair, as opposed to State Fair pushing into spots that are a little bit more weakly held. Like, I don't think anybody's really off the bottom floor for Hawkeye, as there goes Wagons. Going to take It's a Dub off the map. Got a 3K in the first round, so that's a massive player to take down already. The 0 is not going to get you any more intel. as we're on board now with Keurig, just kind of sneaking in across the other end of the map, and that's a huge advantage for Hawkeye to start with. Alright, that's an unconventional way to open the hatch, but I respect it from Keurig.
It's
Gets it open, using the frag grenade. Could be helpful in a multitude of other ways, but you know what? You do what you gotta do. As the next second nade goes in, doesn't get a kill, but that's going to allow for Hunky to push in, and now Lobster just using the yokai drone to try and throw off Kadamir, who cannot get into the site at all for the life of him. So, State Fair, just trying to find wherever they can, take the fights wherever they can. They don't really have too many openings, but Hunky's going to try and run forward. Nice shot there to make it a 4 versus 4. Oh.
And another.
Oh.
Triple
okay,
kill.
Hunky. Massive triple to get in. For some reason, Atlas was going for the reinforcement there. And then Atlas and his teammate were also caught out as well. So Outlaw and Wagons both dead. Lobster is able to trade this back, though. So Keurig down, but Hunky swings in, knocks in, finishes
Another
off.
one.
Actually,
There we go. Ace by Hunky.
Huge play for Hunky. I mean, the irony, I know, one of the most famous Ying plays in Siege's history was made by a player named Hungry, so I guess it only fits that Hunky would make the insane Ying play as he gets the ace in that round to make it 2-0. State Fair. It looked pretty rough for them at the start, but Hunky's able to just step in and get the round to go their way regardless. So 2-0 lead now for State Fair.
My question is now, who do you have your eyes on Hawkeyes?
Hawkeyes. I mean, we haven't really seen enough out of any of them to really make me think that I don't know. So far I would say Lobsters looked pretty decent. You know, I will say there were a couple plays in that last round that were a little bit confusing, like Atlas going for that reinforcement in that spot. Like, I understand the point, but when you die when the guy in Freezer just dies off of that play, you need to be able to be aware of what's going on. Of course, we mentioned earlier that some of these players aren't up to the same kind of level that you would see at the highest levels of competition or even at the highest levels of collegiate competition. Of course, this is just an open competition for people who feel like playing some competitive Siege. It's really, at the very end of it, it's just to help people have a good time, be competitive in a game they love. So it's not really the highest level of things, but I would have hoped that Atlas would be able to notice that Freezer was getting taken away, and it wasn't really a safe reinforcement to make there. But the blue hole did a very good job, so credit to Atlas where it's due. Did a fantastic job holding State Fair out of there, but they're just going to have to work on the Freezer hold this time. Ooh. Oh, wow. Notice how quick they got that out. The Florida drone just gets the shield, and then already Atlas is down. That was great. Curiously, no Jaeger this round, so they're not going to have that in blue, but I mean, I guess little blue investment works out this time around because you can't really hold it for too long after the shield is gone that early. Great job to Kadamir, and that's going to give State Fair all the control they couldn't have last round, and they won last round, so it's off to a fantastic start. Possibly the only issue is they only really had the hard breach charge to get that open. Actually, no, they had the exothermic charge, but they didn't use it. Not sure why, but well, Leviathan able to get a kill. But Outlaw, though, trades that back. Four versus 4 as Kadamir's dead. Nice shot there from Outlaw as he swings around. And that's the best way you could have possibly taken away blue control. And Outlaw's going to get a 3rd kill. It's only left a Hungry and Keurig, but Keurig on the backstairs is going to make an impactful kill to start with. Hard breach charge for Hunky, so he can get into that E-box position on his own. And the Ying coming into the backside with 3 Candelas to play with could be absolutely huge as Lobster sets up the yokai drone preparing for a push from the backside, which looks like it's exactly what's about to happen. Only 50 seconds left, so State Fair gonna have to try and drop onto the bottom floor soon. They don't really have the diffuser to play with, and Wagons has blue control. If he gets the call that somebody's in here, which Keurig is, could easily just get the kill through the wall, but Keurig actually moves away from the E-box, getting shot at from Freezer. It didn't go the Candelas, but down goes Hungy. It's only left to Keurig, getting pressured at a bunch of different angles. Gets the first kill. Knows there might be one on the flank as well, getting good pings from his teammates. Because they're yellow pings, Wagons isn't going to know that he knows where he is, but Lobster has a really good angle here as well. Wagons just holding the diffuser, and Keurig going to have to move forward. Could have seen Wagons, but actually knows the right angle to check. Could get this 4K in the clutch, but not quite. Wagons is able to come around the corner, get the last kill, and almost for State Fair, but almost is not close enough. It's Hawkeye taking their first round of the match.
That was pretty good. They had him.
Yeah. I mean, it was actually a very good start from State Fair. They took all that control. They took it so quickly and decisively, but Outlaw with a great round to get them back in.
Very much
shot
so.
That was as well. Look at that. Just comes around the corner, gets the headshot, and then gets the last one down as well. Monty barely even stood a chance in that engagement, and Keurig, in spite of how close he came, Wagons shut that down at the very end. 2-1. The lead now for State Fair, but Hawkeye have gotten closer. Now they'll go back to the top floor, where they really didn't do too much of anything at all last time, but, you know, mistakes are made so you can improve on them the next time around. And, well, we already saw Hawkeye go back to the site once and get their win there. That was on the basement. They lost it the first time, got the win the second time around. Maybe they'll be 2 for 2 on their second tries. Who knows?
5 seconds to go. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Already 30 seconds, half a minute gone in this round is State Fair. Just looking to take some early control. Culbinator, similar spot to where he started the round last time around, is playing over towards Trophy. It's a tough spot to play, especially in this spot. Looking for the headshot over the Osa shield, but instead, Kadamir is going to swing in and get that kill. There's another one inside Trophy as well. Perhaps they're not expecting this, but Outlaw, well, not expecting it to go too well, so he falls back towards the Bolo corner. For those of you who know, that position gained some notoriety after Bolo, perhaps the most famous Siege player, started to play it very well, and now, of course, it's called that. That's what they call that corner. So, Outlaw playing that corner on Bandit. One of my favorite corners to play, ironically enough, also on Bandit, just playing ranked games, you're able to peek aggressively off there, but it's also pretty safe at the same time. So it's a very fun spot to play. Can see why Outlaw finds himself there now, but he'll have to actually play aggressively enough to take the initiative on the gunfights. And also, Keurig being here towards White Stairs is going to make it even more difficult for Outlaws. Now he's getting shot at. Too many angles to deal with, and there's no way he makes it out alive. Gets knocked down, soon to be finished, but Atlas almost making a play, but not quite. Plant is going down. His State Fair take 2 kills in a row. Atlas was able to get 1. So it's better than last time, and Lobster going to try and make it even better. He takes that next kill, and another Lobster.
Oh.
Clean headshot. Now this could be a way into the round for Hawkeye. Top White Stairs is where Keurig lies. It's Hungy inside of Trophy. Good swing from Lobster. Checks the right angle. But do they know there's one on White Stairs? Lobster gets the next kill, but now he's got to get yet another. He's looking ready for it. Keurig, though, just going to fall off the angle, trying to play the defuse timer. Lobster going to get aggressive, swing around the corner, but Keurig has his number locked in. And that's a 3rd round for State Fair. Great attempt this time around, but was not enough from the alibi. And that's State Fair getting to 3 rounds. A little disconnect.
Oh. I did not notice that.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a pause to let the last player get back in. So, I mean, all right. How are you feeling so far about State Fair? Are you proud of the boys so far?
I'm proud of my boy. I'm proud of my boys so far. They're stepping it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have been on the grind nonstop recently.
Oh, I love to hear that. At the very least, like it's one thing if you're not doing too well as a team, but if you're all on the same page, getting on the grind together, just playing the game, trying to be as competitive as possible, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, and they get it as soon as all of them are out of class. They're like, all right, we need to get down.
I love to hear that.
Lock it down.
Yeah. I mean, Oregon, obviously, the one that they picked and looking so good on the attacking side, which isn't the favorite side here. Do you know anything about them on Cafe? Do you think this will be? I know you're hoping for the 2-0, but do you think it'll be a 2-0, or do you think Hawkeye might have that one?
They're pretty decent on Cafe. I think is what they like. I don't know, man. I want them to get two. I do want them to 2-0 them and
Of course.
sweep them, obviously, but it seems like Hawkeyes are trying to put up a fight here against State Fair and just doing their best. And seems like they've put in the work to probably watch our videos and streams from before. So.
Yeah, it's an impressive feat to put in all that effort to watch the videos and the streams in the past. We will head back to us. Hi, welcome back. We are still waiting on everyone to get back in. Obviously the connection issues were a problem coming into this, so that's why we had to start so late. No, this was not scheduled to start at 7. It was actually supposed to start at 6:30, but yeah, it took a little while.
Yeah. So while we're here, do you have a favorite operator?
Oh yeah. Favorite operator. For attack. Oh, you got to go attack and defense because you can't say one over the other. But most played on attack historically has definitely been Hibana for me. I have like 2 or 3 times as many hours on Hibana as I do like everyone else. Because I've been playing for a while. I've been into Siege since like Operation Health. I started on my Xbox. And then about like a year and a half later, I got a PC, and I've been on PC for the past 4 or 5 years, which is crazy to think that the game's been out for so long. But I mean, yeah, I've played a lot of Hibana just because when I was trying to get into the game, I wanted to play the support roles, and Hibana had a really fun gun, but also made it so you could support your teammates. So good at getting the hatches open and stuff like that. But on defense, right now my comfort pick is probably Melusi. The MP5 is a pretty simple gun, not too much recoil, and her ability is very useful at just letting you know when people are in certain areas of the map. Definitely enjoy playing some Melusi when I get the chance. How about you?
So kind of like what you said, you can't just choose one,
Yeah,
and I have so many. I kind of started last spring, so I started around when Zombie came around. So I kind of have a choice for attack, either between Ying or Zero,
like
one of the two, and then.
That's is that actually no? Never mind. I was gonna say that's what Hungy's been playing, but Hungy was on the Ace and then the Yang, so it was not on the Zero. The Zero was somebody else. I forget.
And then defense, I like to use Frost a lot, but I've recently got into running Legion a lot as well. So
yeah, Legion's a classic. He's been around for so long. I mean, his gun's just so good, and it's just such a nice, satisfying gun to use, and the ability's super helpful as well. Again, with that intel, just helping everybody know what's what and who's where and all that. But yeah, I mean,
so my question is, how do you feel about the game so far?
This match. I will say I'm definitely impressed with the level of strategic depth that we're seeing from some of these teams. I wasn't expecting to see everything out of Hawkeye that we have been seeing so far. Obviously, the open division. Hawkeye actually the lower seed coming into this, for those of you who didn't know. State Fair came in as the 2nd seed into the playoffs. So clearly, like you said, they've been grinding, and it's been showing. The 2nd highest ranked team in NJCAAE, NJCAAE, if you will. So they came into this the favorites, but I mean, Hawkeye have definitely been doing a lot on defense that, it's a lot more than you might expect. They're not playing it like it's just any other ranked game. They're really trying to strategize and figure out the strats they like the most. Wagons is just doing a little dance.
Little dancey dance.
Yeah, you gotta love it, really. You gotta love it.
Siege players are just a different breed. That's all.
Oh yeah, the people who are still around, they've been through so much, man. Like I've been here for so long. This game it's always going to be a part of me, whether I like it or not. So
I came in last spring wanting to play Madden, and then towards the end of the season of Siege for them, I decided to pick up Siege. So
nice. I know you were saying before. Game. Oh yeah, compared to Madden, I don't think you could find two less similar games. I know you were saying before though that you possibly wanted to start. You wanted to try and join the team for next semester as well. I know you mentioned that. You just couldn't quite do it this semester.
I couldn't do it this semester. I had to drop a class to last semester to save some stuff.
Yeah.
As Leviathan almost lost his head.
Yeah. Nearly got everything taken away by that C4, but wise to dodge it in the way that he did. Risked everything by running in front of the window, but it was the only way you could get out with your life, so does what he can. Yeah.
Takes Outlaw down.
Was that through the hatch?
I think that was through the wall.
Well, it was through the opening in the wall, but I was wondering if somebody was peeking through the hatch underneath, or if Outlaw was just peeking through the attic. No, I don't think it was. Or no, what? Oh my gosh! What a shot by Hungy!
Dang.
That's crazy. A great one there for Hungy. As soon as it opens up, gets the kill through that hatch, and I mean that's not an angle you see used really ever.
No, that's my first time seeing that. As Carrick takes down Atlas.
Yeah, so great shot for Hungy to start things off. Carrick continues it with killing Atlas as the sledge moving forward. Another EE1D. That's the second to last one burned, as the Lobster has gone down as well. So the Alibi, who nearly made such a clutch play last time around, will not be up to do it this time. One kill is there, but traded out immediately, as now Wagons, who found that first frag of the round, is going to be the only one left in a 1 versus 4. He really didn't stand a chance there, as Katamir is going to take him down. Yeah, so another great round from State Fair. It seems the tech pause wasn't enough to throw them off their game quite yet.
Nope.
Do you think...
Pretty insane.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I was just complimenting the shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wow, it was a great one.
I'm just in awe about it.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it was a great shot there to get that very early kill. From there, it was just kind of, it wasn't coming back for Hawkeye after the way they continued that round. And again, State Fair are allowed to just take the space and take those gunfights into Hawkeye holding the angles. And, State Fair doing a great job realizing that we need to peek into them rather than just hold these angles statically if we're actually going to win these gunfights. Static angle holding, just kind of sitting there and holding one angle. It's very tried and tested strat by players who are newer to the game, but the higher up you get, you realize if you peek into an angle and pre-fire it, you can probably have a lot more success in the engagement if you're peeking into it and pre-firing it. As a little wholesome interaction in the chat, one of the drones saw Outlaw there. Said hi to him. But, yeah, so, I mean, so far State Fair doing really well on attack. And from what you've seen, do you expect them to continue to do this well on defense? They only need a couple of rounds at this point.
I'm pushing it and hoping that they know what they're doing on defense. So, it's kind of crazy as I watched Hungy change from Ying to now IQ.
Yeah, it's an interesting switch. I mean, Hungy did so well on the Ying, not last time, but the time before when they were pushing into the basement. So, you see him switch off because they lost that last time they pushed in spite of how well he did the time before. As Outlaw playing Harry Potter. Got a minute left. As yeah, for those of you who didn't know, that little spot under the stairs is called Harry Potter. I don't know who came up with it in the Siege community, but some people come up with some really clever call-outs. I really like that one especially.
do.
Yeah, I like that
They
one
come out-
especially.
I've never heard the Harry Potter one before. That's
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah, I mean, once you get higher and higher, you know, I've definitely gone through plenty of phases in my life where I adored watching competitive Siege. And people have call-outs for very specific positions, like the Bolo corner I was talking about before, Harry Potter, stuff like that, and plenty of ones that I either don't know or have completely forgotten is the Mute Jammer doesn't keep that wall safe, and Leviathan's able to get it open. So, great job working with that blue control early, but a minute and 10 seconds left to go, and it looks really good right now for State Fair. Dub is just this far forward? How is he allowed to play all the way up? Doesn't get the first kill. Misses the shot, says Keurig. Able to take one, but Dub is then taken down by Wagons, who's now just running around trying to find somewhere to go. Almost gets caught with the pistol out, but eventually is able to gather himself, take out that 416C once more, as State Fair have regained the advantage. They have control of Freezer. They have Laundry storage, and they almost have another kill from Hungy, but he's not able to find it. Nobody inside of Laundry at all, as down goes Atlas. That's Hungy getting that kill. It's really just down to Outlaw to try and retake the site. Well, lands a headshot, and Hungy knocked down as well. So, Wagons and Outlaw working with low HP against the odds, but they brought it back to a 2 versus 2, but flying goes Outlaw as the Claymore will send him to space, and now it's effectively a 2 versus 1, as in comes Wagons and down goes Wagons. Good kill for Leviathan, and State Fair are able to take 5 rounds on their attacking half, only letting up 1 to Hawkeye as we see the side switch.
So crazy. I don't know what to say right now. I'm in a room next to where they're playing at, and all I hear is yelling and screaming from them. So it's just kind of crazy right now.
That's crazy. Are they all playing in the same room together?
Yeah, they are.
That's so sick. I wish my esports teams had setups like that. That's crazy. I mean, just being able to give fist bumps to your teammates and whatnot after you win rounds. Being able to see the excitement in your teammates' faces and whatnot after winning rounds like that.
It's kind of like family. We've grown together.
Nice. I mean, that's what you love to hear. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the end goal is to make some close friends and just generally have a good time. Looks like you guys have been having a great time so far.
Yeah.
And you're casting from your own computer in the next room, or like something the school has set up?
Casting from a computer my coach gave me before.
Nice.
He's like, "Here you go. This is your setup," and I'm just sitting in the room.
Love to hear that. So, obviously, State Fair putting a lot of heart into their Siege. They were the ones who asked for this game to be broadcast as well, which is why we've got Gobbler on board with us. So, shout out to State Fair for letting us watch this lovely little match of competitive Siege. As of right now, it's really been the Keurig and Hungy show, as State Fair up by such a significant margin. Keurig and Hungy having fantastic maps so far. And I know you told us beforehand that Keurig was fantastic coming in. And I mean, you didn't mention Hungy specifically, but definitely I've been very much impressed.
I'm impressed by Hungy. Oh, bandit trick?
How's it gonna work? You always root for the bandit tricks. It's always fun, but it looks like you might have either gotten the wrong side or something. But oh, aggressive angle. He wants these fights, and he wants them now. Hungy will not take no for an answer, but eventually is forced to. Took a ton of HP away from Cold, who actually hadn't put down an air jab on the flank, so was able to do that. And then Atlas, great nade. Was that from underneath? That's an impressive nade. Wasn't expecting to see underneath cooked nades from the people in this lobby. So, again, impressed by the level of depth going into the strategies and the level of commitment that Hawkeye have put in, as well as State Fair, obviously, as well. But great shot from Keurig continuing to hold Armory and gets a leg up on Hungy as he reaches 11 kills. Hungy still sitting at just 10. As now Hawkeye moving into the attic. Wagons is starting to take some control, doing a good job at it. As Atlas is underneath. Oh, that's a rough angle to end up in, though. Leviathan not going to let you live there. Atlas headshotted, taken away. And Hawkeye went from bad to worse. But now it's actually getting a little bit better. That is until Leviathan steps in for yet another kill. So Culpinator taken down. It's just Wagons and Lobster in the 2 versus 3. Lobster to try and stick the plant, but he gets stuck as soon as he comes around the corner. Great shot there, but another good shot from Wagons. Here's the air jab. Knows one's going to be pushing on the flank, but also knows he's got to play around the diffuser. And Katamir is right here. Doesn't know that. That's a perfect spot. Great kill.
That is one of my favorite spots on the map.
Yeah, it's a fun one. If they don't open up that wall, it's so effective to hold so many spots.
I like opening that wall, putting a frost mat on that window, and then just sitting. Waiting for chaos.
Yeah, it's always fun to just be the one who's just waiting for everything to go crazy, but that seems that's what Katamir was doing there.
As we are on our match point.
Yeah, we are. State fair. Doing a great
leading
job.
by 6-1.
Locate and defuse bombs.
And then we will go on to Cafe in this next map.
Yeah, Cafe the next one.
Okay.
Clubhouse the map 3 if they need a map 3, but as of right now, there's no reason to suspect that State Fair will be taking too long in finishing this contest. They've been doing a fantastic job so far. Just 6-1 lead. They're on track for the Brazil. And I don't know if that's commonly used in Siege, but I know in soccer it's used a lot, and also in Rocket League, where I actually started casting. Rocket League, they use that phrase all the time. So the 7-1, every time I see it, I can't help but think that it's, the Brazil is Kirik. Okay, not sure exactly where the spawn peak is here. That's not a spawn point, man. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Attackers have recovered.
Don't quite know what he's watching with that. I've never seen anyone hold this angle on a spawn peak, so if anyone crosses that line of sight, they won't be expecting it, but on average that line of sight is crossed like once for every 4 or 5 games played on Oregon at all. So it's an obscure one, but I mean, at least he's not going to really risk too much. And nobody loses any HP early in spite of Kurik's aggression. Is opening up the hole from above.
A nice angle.
Leviathan now under pressure. Needs to try and get away. Escapes to Classroom, but it's Kirik now pushing up, trying to play the angles aggressively. Oh no. What happened? The team kill. How did that happen? What? Wagons from there? I'm so confused as to how that happened, but, it is what it is. He took down Outlaw elsewhere. So State Fair, if it wasn't already looking pretty good for them, it's looking even better. As Leviathan gets taken it down, though. And there you go.
And then
Kirik from behind. Great angle held there by the Thermite. And State Fair kind of struggling here. Dub just completely blindsided by Atlas. And now it's a 2 versus 4. It's looking like a rough situation, but I mean, Hungy's still alive. Do you have faith in the boys, Goblin?
I have faith still. I'm hoping.
2 of them pushing right into where Hungy is as well, so maybe they'll be able to. They will be taken down.
Yeah, as he sits on an angle.
Lets him go by though. Unlucky timing. Was expecting that first peak to only be temporary. Or at least I'm assuming he was expecting it just to get a quick peek on the first one, but instead allow them to cross the angle. Leviathan eventually, or not Leviathan, but Lobster eventually goes back, but then pushes forward again deeper into Fraser, and now that's Fraser control forfeited for State Fair, so they will have to play aggressively and get up and active to hold these angles if they're looking to hold out Hawkeye. That's Catamir holding the laundry staircase. SMG-11, good for the knock at long range. Really nice job controlling the recoil just enough to get Atlas onto the ground. Now, Colbinator can get the res, but only 15 seconds, so you don't really have time for that. Eventually gets back up, but only 10. So now, Hungy alone, but Lobster takes down Catamir. Hungy needs to get a couple here, but he does, and he knocks the diffuser. Wait a second, it's going to be the end because Dub gets one with the cap can, and there's no shot anymore for Hawkeye.
There is no.
Hungy again. Something about the first time we see basement sites and Hungy heroics just
Hungy
work out.
Is hungry.
He is so hungry for the kills. Hungry for the W.
How do we feel?
That was an exciting way to end that one. Absolutely. Hungry in the 1 versus 4. And I mean, Goblin, please tell me you can hear them from the other room.
I could hear everything. It just erupted.
I know. If I win that clutch, man, I'm not. My teammates are not hearing the end of that.
They're like a bunch of little first graders right now.
Man, that's just inspiring to hear. You love to see that from State Fair, but unlucky for Hawkeye, they were not able to take that one. So Hawkeye, moving forward, they will have more opportunities, of course.
As they have their map pick, they want.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe they'll turn it back around, make it more of a more interesting game.
Yeah.
Push it to a tie.
Yeah, we might see that as we move forward, or maybe getting to choose the side you start on is going to what's it called? Maybe it's going to actually make it so that State Fair are a little favored going into map 2 as well, because they get to start on that decisive side, on the defensive side. They get to start on their preferred half. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. And I don't know if we're going to get into a break, because we are going to get a little bit of a break going while we get ready for a cafe, but it's not going to be very long. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back on Esports U between SFCC and HCC. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one on map 2.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
That's so cute.
UCF, and it's really cute. I'm gonna move down here. How do we feel? The odds for UCF? What are we thinking?
They got it.
No, we got this. We got it. We got it.
Go Knights, charge on.
100%. My friend Nick is behind you. He's gonna record it. Don't look at him. You'll ruin the shot. Don't look at him. Don't look at him.
Come on.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
My smile's probably really creepy. I was just being weird.
Oh, I love being in the shadows, though. Big shout out to the shadows.
We could interview Dilly just because I think he's handsome. You weren't supposed to hear.
Here's the thing about the event. I'm the greatest that's ever lived.
Literally true. I know him.
I think everyone knows that. I think everyone's aware of that.
Hey, do you have a VIP access badge on?
I actually have an all access.
Oh, an all access. I thought it said VIP access.
And that's only available for the best.
That's true. He's right. That's a main stage TO right there.
If this goes live, I'm suing everybody.
It's all right. A video of me, the first clip is me saying, don't put that in. And then it was the first, cut the cameras. Oh, you're recording already? Great. So this is this is Bay State versus UCF. I believe something that we saw yesterday on day 1 of the tournament, but instead we're going to have that run back here. I think they're fighting for a spot in Grand Finals. Anarchy, one of the best Greninja players in the United States, currently struggling against a Terry. Terry notorious for that DLC privilege, being a very strong character with some very strong abilities. Greninja not so much, considered one of the weaker characters in the game. A Falco player, one of the best in the United States, and he just got spiked by a Terry. Same Terry that took out Anarchy literally minutes ago. UCF still up by 2 stocks. This guy is looking to rip this team apart single-handedly. That is, I mean, nuts, to say the very least. Absolutely absurd. That was a disgusting spike. I cannot believe that happened. Will you hold the microphone so I can sign this? Sorry.
For context, he's got a fan. He's actually signing something. He's so excited.
What was it like to not hear my voice for 2 minutes? For 30 seconds maybe, what was it like? Probably bliss. I was signing a mouse pad, which is really cool. I've never done that before. Nobody's ever asked me for a signature, so I'm gonna start blushing, but I'm really excited about that. And then he wants a picture. Can you take a picture of us? I said, is it bad? She went, no. I'm gonna go ahead and take that as a yes.
Turns out I can't tie a tie sitting down.
What do you think is the appropriate face-to-screen ratio for a Valorant player?
Face to screen, like how close I sit?
Yeah, like how close should a player sit?
Personally, I play really, really close. I think it depends on your eyesight, but for me, I like playing close because it helps me focus on my crosshair.
Is the value of sitting close, the crosshair being the only thing in your line of sight?
Yeah, that's pretty much the main benefit of it.
It's so funny how close some of these guys sit. Oh my goodness. What do you think is the healthy face-to-screen distance for a Valorant player?
I think it's all kind of personal preference. I guess I would consider myself like pretty close when I play because I like to like zone in on my crosshair.
It is the second person to say that. It's all about the crosshair. And then what's up with the horizontal keyboard?
I don't know, like it just kind of fits like the form when I'm close to monitor. Like I don't know, it might sound cringy, but I like to like be one with my gun. You know?
No, bro, I feel it. I feel it absolutely. What is going on, everybody? I am here with some UCF fans. How are we feeling about UCF? Let's go! Let's go! We've got a bunch of UCF fans in the crowd right now. UCF, they're up by a single game. They're looking to find their third and possibly final, secure a spot moving forward. Things looking great for them against Northwood here today. This guy's playing Minecraft right now. He keeps double building instead of placing the dirt. Pressure's on, man. Everybody's watching. Just kidding. Just me. Cameraman's not over here. Just kidding. He's behind you. There's actually always cameras on you if I'm around. Do you double build all of those? No excuses, bro. Your college esports Minecraft team absolutely rolled. L after L here. Let's hope UCF has a little better luck on stage, huh? What is going on, everybody? I am Septilins. I have the honor of welcoming you to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup here in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, that was good. That was good. Good content, good content.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year's, everyone, and welcome back to the ECAC Esports channel. As always, my name is Kyler K-Ted Tando, and I once again have the privilege of introducing you all to some of the best collegiate esports plays. Now, I know when we left off last year, I teased a little bit about some big news on the horizon, but that news is finally ready to break. Now, this year, in partnership with CSMG and their newly launched Esports U network, we will now be able to bring you guys double the amount of ECAC
I told you guys it wasn't going to be too long. Welcome back. It's NJCAAE quarterfinals. It's back on map number 2. It's State Fair Community College versus Hawkeye Community College. It's going to be a great one. We saw a pretty exciting map 1, not necessarily an overall score. It was pretty decisively in favor of State Fair. But for HCC, there were plenty of rounds that they made very close, plenty of very interesting rounds for State Fair. But, you know, for the at large, most of the rounds went SFCC's way. So it'll be interesting to see how Cafe goes. Of course, this is the map choice of Hawkeye. Of course, as well, it is the defensive side choice of State Fair. So they're choosing to start on defense. They're taking the sledge off the board. You want to deny that vertical play. It's so important on Cafe. So it's very, very important that you take that off the board for State Fair, and they're taking it off the board immediately, starting on defense, trying to make their defensive side as effective as possible, as the OSA banned out by Hawkeye. Of course, that was used a lot by State Fair to take a lot of space. So taking that off the board is also a great ban. Now, Goblin, is there anyone if you do, I don't know how much ranked you play or whatever, but are there any operators you find particularly annoying who you prefer to ban most of the time, if not all the time?
I want to say Dokkaebi, but I like using Dokkaebi. She just getting a phone call is just annoying because then you have to go like somewhere hide, or you can go over like a mute and just like end the call. But who would I? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, have you not played too much ranked yet?
I've played a few rank. I kind of go by however my team takes off or whatever people want to do. So I just kind of go off whatever everybody else goes off of.
Attackers need to locate and
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair strategy. You know, obviously, some people know what operators are great on certain maps, so they'll always have something to say as to like what you ban where and whatnot. So, you know, I think that's a good little rule of thumb to follow, especially if you don't quite know stuff yet. But me personally, if I could remove operators when I have the chance on defense, I find Capcan very annoying because I always forget to check for the traps.
Yeah.
Every time, I always forget.
I'm normally those people that put the Capcan traps up.
Yeah, all right. Well, we are not friends. Let me just say that. We are not friends. But also, Clash, I don't like playing into. Just kind of frustrating.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I do have one now. Now that you bring her up.
Yeah, that's the typical like #1 ban choice, I think, for most people would be if you could get rid of any operator, regardless of situation, it would be Clash.
I have no clue or why someone would choose a Clash.
Well, it's people who play Clash, you see, they're not like us. They just feed off of sadness and despair and negativity. Their day is better knowing that the opponent's day is worse.
They are making people regret downloading and buying Siege.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's all they need to do, and they feel as though they are. That's what how they sleep well at night.
Very
just
much
knowing.
So. So, here in map 2, who do you have your eyes on now?
Obviously, it's Kirik and Hungry had such good performances. And also, particularly from Kirik, I saw a lot of very fundamental, mechanics that I was very impressed by. He looks to be at a different level, at least mechanically, compared to the other players in the lobby. Hungry, as well, is just very smart, very good at getting in the right spots and playing the angles correctly. But I feel as though Kirik is one player on SFCC, like you highlighted earlier, where when you mentioned why you think he is probably the #1 player to watch on this team, I could see already exactly why, because he's got a lot of mechanical skill. Very talented player, able to just fight his way out of certain situations and can just do whatever is necessary to win certain engagements. He's got very good mechanics, and so long as he's not caught in a terrible spot, it will usually be good for a kill or two, especially against a team like Hawkeye. He's been very effective, but yeah, Hungry as well. Eyes on him. As for Hawkeye, I don't quite know if Colbinator got a kill. I know he was struggling to get one for a while, so I'm hoping to see something good out of him. As already, it's Kirik using that big brain to get a big C4 kill and take down one early, but Lobster, he is able to get Hungry on the trade back. So, Cuzzo is actually in now for Hawkeye, so it seems that the player who's having connection issues is back in for HCC, playing the ace, but not for too long in this round. And then Hungry taken down as well. Only 45 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't know how Kirik does it. Whenever we play 1v1s or just team versus team, like team 1, team 2 versus each other, I don't know how he does it. He's just, I just have to say that he's the #1 player because just he could be like, you could be like, oh yes, we have the lead, and then he'll just stomp you.
And there he goes again. Another kill for Kirik as we hear pings all around the map. 3 versus 3 now that the Valkyrie steps in. Dub almost misses those shots, but eventually able to get the kill. And Wagons is knocked down as well. It's only left to Colbinator. I mentioned him at the start, hoping he could find a kill, and he's not going to find it here in the first round. That first round will go to State Fair Community College, as Hawkeye are just dazed and confused towards the very end. They didn't do a bad job taking that control, because it was kind of just given up to them by State Fair, but Hawkeye really started to struggle when it came to actually converting onto the site.
I think Hawkeyes are just struggling, and it kind of threw them off with the connection issues. What I'm thinking is what's happening.
Yeah, that definitely could be part of it. Cuzzo getting back in. But hoping that we can see a pretty big map out of Cuzzo. Of course, he's got the .hcc, so, you know, everybody on both teams except for Colbinator and Catamir. There's no way. That looks nothing like Catamir.
I have no clue how to say his name.
Is that how he says it? Do you know how he says it? Can you walk into the other room and ask him real quick? Don't do that. No, don't do that. He's in the middle of the game. But obviously,
really, to be honest with you, I think I've heard him say it a few times, so I'm just kind of going off with whatever my brain says.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'll go with Catamir then, because I don't think Cataminder is really... We could also just say Caddy or just Cad, so I think we might go with that. Or 9, but...
9, yeah.
It's not really the first thing you see, so you don't think of it. Like, you read Cataminder 9, and you don't get to the 9 till, like, the very end, so you don't think to say it when you're just talking. There's a lot of action and whatnot. Anyways... Getting to round number 2, onto the bottom floor. And obviously this one, a lot of breakable floor above this site, which is why they took the sledge off the board. Atlas is running a breaching rounds on the Ash, uses one of them to get the castle barricade off, and that's really a lot of the soft breach, but they have a fuse. So the fuse from above could be absolutely massive. All that you need to do is clear Keurig out of that top floor, but I don't really think you can say. All you need to do is kill Keurig because, well, that's not really an all you need to do. That's a lot to do. That's not really a little amount to do, but by his own volition, he leaves the top floor, choosing to fall back towards the site, actually into the site, forfeiting that top floor control, and he's just going to let Wagons have free reign to cluster charge as the C4 takes a good chunk of Atlas's HP away, but not all of it. But oh, what a timing that was. Not banning the Kaid this time, and, well, it's biting Hawkeye in the butt, as already Cuzzo was taken down early in round 1, and then has his Selma breaches denied in round number 2. Really struggling to get anything going here now that he's finally gotten into the lobby, but, ooh, Keurig. Knocked down by the cluster charge, finished off as well, and Hungy just has to leave his teammate to die.
That is such a scary sound to hear. Cluster charge come out.
Absolutely.
You're just sitting in one spot, and then you just hear the thunk. It's like you got nothing else better to do. It's like you run or hide.
Ooh, I would love to see those used in tandem with the EE1Ds as well, as they're pushing in so they can get intel on certain people's positions. But a good kill for Cuzzo, another one for Lobster, and Hawkeye seem to have come to life now that they finally have their full primary roster. It got a little rough in the middle for HCC, but they're cleaning up the map towards the end. They've knocked down Leviathan. It's just left to Catamir. Trying to play this hatch.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Excuse me. As he drops down into Freezer, swings around the corner for the first one, not able to do anything more than just that first kill, but Cuzzo, very low, just outside the doorway, is Wagons, getting the kill, locking out the round, and making sure that Hawkeye start things off well as they go 1-1 here. Last time, they couldn't win either of the first 2 rounds, so this marks the first time that Hawkeye have been at a tie that isn't 0-0. So they're already starting off Cafe better than they have been playing, really, through the entirety of the first map.
I think what an interesting play would have been was use the Lion and have them stay in one place and have a drone one area and just use the fuse charges down below. So then they wouldn't have any movement.
Exactly, but you don't necessarily have to stay still because of the EE1D. You can still move. It just pings you. So then what you do along with that is you have people push and peek the angles at the same time. So if they're moving, everybody knows where to swing when you're using that. So, you know, it would have been a perfect 1-2-3 punch. That's a lot of coordination that goes into that. So it would have been, I would have been so impressed should Hawkeye have pulled that out just now.
Very, very much so.
Because as much as that is, like, you know, competitive teams can usually pull that out. Again, we're watching 2 collegiate teams who are, you know, just in the open division, playing just because they enjoy the game. They just want to be here for the love of Siege, for the love of competition and all that. So, you know, Hawkeye, not necessarily a professional team, perhaps not really even close. But I know for a fact that they're definitely going to put their all in wherever, for as long as they can, make it as much of a match as possible. And so that's why this game's been so fun to watch, because both these teams are putting their all in every single round. And although the strategical depth isn't always there, it's always been very fun. And sometimes, you know, that more of that scrappiness and less structure means you get more exciting, more fun to watch rounds. So I'm not complaining.
Tango in my sights. First floor.
As we're back to the basement, we'll see if State Fair can pull this off. Because last time it wasn't very close. Is similar composition coming out here, but no lion this time. Instead, they go for the jackal and a trade upstairs, and lobster and Catamir. I forgot again how to pronounce the name, but lobster and Catamir both go down, and then Wagons has a lot of HP taken off, courtesy of Keurig. So the Vigil going to continue to keep the presence alive and make sure his presence is felt around the map, as Wagons barely allowed to live through the rest of this round. It's going to be hard for the cluster charges to come out, and those were so impactful last round.
Very much so.
Ironic as well, because Keurig was the primary fatality to the cluster charges, and now he's the one roaming around upstairs trying to prevent everything from going bad once again. But we'll at least see one come out for Wagons. Goes into the site, but nothing doing there. There's 55 seconds on the clock. Keurig trying to work his way back down, catch whatever angle he can onto Wagons. Might get peeked just here, and there it is. Big kill. That's going to deny the upstairs presence, but the site itself has been going in favor of Hawkeye. But there was a kill for Cuzzo. Now HCC looking primed and ready to push forward as Hungy still alive inside the site along with Dub. Dub inside service. Hungy inside a kitchen cooking. As Keurig breaking the castle barricade, but that was not what he was expecting to see on the other side. Atlas is there, ready and waiting for that kill opportunity as Dub is able to trade back for one, but Hungy is overwhelmed in the back of the site. Dub trades though with the Deagle and now 1 versus 1. 10 seconds left, jumping through the window, knows exactly where to look, and the last kill goes to Dub as State Fair are able to pull this one back at the very end. The denial of the upstairs control was crucial from Keurig, and a great site play from Dub to get a triple kill to hold every member of Hawkeye out at the very end and keep State Fair in the lead, or at the very least put them back in the lead, as they've been holding the lead through every single one of the rounds but one. And you can obviously they weren't about to have the lead taken away from them for the first time this series.
Defenders, protect your confused by
As we have, I see a switch here that Hungy's laying back and letting everybody else do the work. Because Hadamir and It's a Dub are at 4 kills and Keurig's at 3.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, Hungy, like you said, just taking a back seat, letting the others put in some more work. As Dub, you know, started the last map strong and is doing that this round as well. I mean, last map, he had a round 1 outstanding performance. It was excuse me. It was a round 1 3K, and now we've just seen here a round number 3 3K. So steps up very well towards the beginning of maps, and is good to be the kill leader on his team along with Catamir. So SFCC, you know, some new players stepping up this time. Catamir and Dub on top. That was not the case last map. We saw Keurig and Hungy on top, but, you know, this time around, State Fair just showing that everybody on the team can pitch in, and that is the mark of a fantastic team. Not just a few fantastic players, but a great series of players making a great cohesive team. Anybody and everybody can and will step up when necessary. As for Hawkeye, everybody's doing decently well except Culminator, still yet to find that kill. Same thing goes for Leviathan. So good team performances from both sides. State Fair have been edging them out barely so far, but, you know, the defense is favored on this half, so I'd like to think that we'll find multiple rounds for Hawkeye, because they've been playing so well this time around, and Atlas nearly able to find 2 off the start. Actually does knock 1, and great droning as well from Atlas's teammates. Knows that he knocks him down through the wall, and that's 2 quick kills. The ping from underneath to possibly get a third, but no, the shotgun. The spread won't give it to him. And now Dub gonna have to hop on top of the bar because he's got to avoid the buck damage from underneath, but the angles are still open, could still be killed. Just needs to try and play wherever he can. This pressure from underneath from Atlas is great, and this is something that often I don't even see in some of my collegiate matches when we play on Cafe. So again, credit where it's due. Great job to Hawkeye. The strategical depth is absolutely there, and dedication to trying to play the best siege you possibly can is there as well. As Hawkeye, with such an advantage to start this round off. And they also have a player in the middle of the site. As the smoke goes down, Cuzzo is just going to take this opportunity to plant right behind the bar. Could get shot through said bar, but nobody's swinging around. Nobody's going to take the chance. And so it's a plant found. A skylight hold could be so effective here in this situation, as they might not even need the hold from the skylight. They might just get the kills anyways. Hungy able to get 1. Katamir able to get 1 as well. So Hunky and Katamir will need to bring this one back on their own, and they've been doing that. They're already a lot of the way through the process, and they'll get even further through said process as they leave Culpinator alone, 1 versus 2, and he's been struggling today, so he'll have to figure it out right here and right now against 2 of the best members on State Fair. Make it 1 now as Katamir left alone, trying to find his 7th kill. Flashbang out from Kolb, doing a great job waiting out the time, and he's actually got this. There's not enough time left for Katamir at all. Culpinator's worked it out. A wonderful clutch at the end. Yes, Katamir, you get the kill, but Hawkeye get the round. A 2-2 scoreline as Hawkeye already besting their score from the last one.
They brought it back. They're, like I said, I was ready to watch them bring it back into their own map.
Mm-hmm.
As we have Cuzzo come in for Outlaw.
Yeah, I mean, the very end there, Culpinator didn't try to do too much, didn't really swing. State Fair were hoping that they would get the peaks. Instead, Culpinator just waits out the time, and that flashbang decision as well, a great decision because, you know, it's going to make it so much harder to push into Kolb. If you can't see, it's going to be a lot harder. So, great job to Culpinator. The Nomad does a fantastic 1 versus 2, wins out the round, and now we're going to Mining Dining for State Fair as we see a relatively conventional setup. Dub putting the frost mat at the top of the staircase. And now it's probably going to chase after Kolb's drone. But
5 seconds to go.
Keurig is going to put the Valk cams down, and, you know, it's going to be pretty typical. Oh, what is that cam C from Hongi? Actually, no, you can turn the cameras a little bit now, so I'm not familiar with how much those deployable cameras can turn. So that might be a fantastic spot for one, or it might just be kind of strange. I'm not quite exactly sure. I need to see the, you know, the perspective of the camera myself. But,
the angle, yeah. I've never seen it done before, but I guess it's something new that everyone's trying.
Yeah, I mean, stay fair. You know, your boys are innovators, coming up with never before seen ideas. As we continue into round number 5. Splitting both these first attacking rounds is fantastic for Hawkeye. It shows exactly why they chose to go to this map. Doing such a good job so far, and I mean, they've really impressed with how close they've gotten in the rounds they've lost and how good of a job they've done in the rounds they've won. And they've consistently been able to get these early picks. It's going to be a matter of whether or not they can do the same this time around. Because one player is actually inside of Piano. This is going to be interesting. Katamir. Not an easily expectable position, but he's also not playing a spot that's really being checked at the moment. And as soon as Dub is checked, he's taken down. Now it leaves Katamir alone in this corner. Needs to be watching the right doorway, because if he's not, he will get killed. Might even blow the hatch back into the site as the mute taken down by Cuzzo as taken low on HP thanks to the Jackal pings through the wall. Lobster did a good job making things hard, but got even worse once he swung into the angle, taken down by the ace. And Cuzzo, you know, just hops in and now already having a pretty solid game so far, as Wagon's able to hack the cameras, providing that intel to Hawkeye, but Keurig is able to take Cuzzo off the board. Again, that's the diffuser dropped in an inconvenient spot, so that could be a huge advantage going forward into the rest of the round, as Keurig just going to try and lay low. Sees a couple out there and gets the next kill as well. Keurig just plays these angles to perfection. Next one is found by Atlas, though. Keurig taken down there. A State Fair. Now at a disadvantage. They were able to pull it back close, but Keurig, not being alive anymore, is going to make it hard. Hungy, though, can hold out still with Leviathan. Was able to find his first kill, and then a knock, possibly a second, is Hungy getting pushed heavily. Leviathan got a finish. Hungy got a kill. And that's the round in State Fair towards the end. It was a great start to Hawkeye, and again, they do a great job getting opening kills. But State Fair are just so good at closing things out in the defensive end, and they do it there once again.
Very, very interesting rounds. Very interesting rounds so far. I bet I'm wondering how crazy that everybody is at watching right now.
Yeah, I mean, that watch party that you guys said, how many people did you say were watching that?
Whenever I left, I know I seen a few of my friends there, but I have no clue how many people are there now.
Like an estimate? Even or no? You just don't know.
I just don't know.
Okay. All right.
I'm just hoping that a lot of people showed up. That would.
Love to see it. So shout out to everybody at State Fair who's watch partying this together. Also Hawkeye students as well, if anybody from Hawkeye is watching in the chat. We appreciate both schools. Thank you so much for State Fair for giving us this opportunity to cast this match, and thank you so much to Hawkeye for also, you know, giving us, letting us cast your game as well. It's been a fun one so far, and Cafe is already the best map we've seen out of these two teams. Oregon was pretty fun, but definitely pretty lopsided, and already neither of these teams able to get more than a round apart from each other. That's okay. We were talking with our producer about in between maps about how, you know, these teams typically don't do too many things off meta, but that's definitely not a default setup, as they've got the rotation hole open into Bakery to try and hold that. Can only imagine they'll eventually try and reinforce that after they fall out of the Bakery position, but having that hole open into Bakery is a massive switch up, because that means the person playing inside of Bake is going to be able to hold so much and just play so aggressively, as Wagons is going to try and catch one pushing forward. Good job droning out Wagons, but Katamir and Keurig are playing this Whiskey Tables area along with one another, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But Hungy has the breach from the sides. It's going to be hard to stick around. It'll be very tough. Probably should just fall back and reinforce that wall while he can. That's exactly what he'll do, except not reinforce the wall. Just going to give it away. Still wants to play that angle, but Wagons takes down Katamir. So, State Fair lose one. Will Wagons be able to get the next one? Keurig needs to watch this right angle. It's inside VIP where Wagons is waiting. State Fair not ready for that, but as Keurig swings the corner, he doesn't need to be ready. He'll kill you anyways. And it's now a 4-to-4 player count, as SFCC doing a good job of holding this site out, but they have an opening into the site already opened up by themselves. So, I don't know. The executes have looked pretty good, and no pressure on the top floor so far yet from Hawkeye. Wonder why that is. The Capcan trap's still yet to be a factor as well. And I mean, do you think they're going to be checking for Capcans at this point in the round, or do you think that's going to be kind of an afterthought?
With 54 seconds left, you never know. People typically forget that there's a Capcan or just rushed into a site. Like I'm gonna say this. I've run into several Capcans before.
Yeah, and it looks like Hawkeye are currently running into the metaphorical trap that is the defense of State Fair, but they've shot it out pretty well. That is until Leviathan steps in, knocks the diffuser down once again, and then gets another kill. Now getting pressure from two different angles. Atlas and Kolb are both low, though, and well, this TCSG hits like a truck, especially at long ranges. Play going down now for Kolb. Covered by Atlas, gives away his position. Kolb still sticking it out. And Leviathan trying to push forward, but Atlas has the angle. And Hawkeye CC have the round. An even split down the middle of 3 rounds to 3. And Hawkeye are looking to take us to a third map in this contest as they move to the defensive side, which again is absolutely the favorite in this on this map in this contest between these two teams. So what are you expecting so far from defense compared to attack? What do we...
Phew.
I mean, I know we saw great attacks on Oregon.
On Oregon, yeah.
Yeah,
They've practiced that probably so many times throughout last week and the weekend. We have a group chat together on Snapchat where we talk and they set up times and everything else on what we're gonna do and how they're gonna do it, and they notify each other when everybody's on and it's just typically so. What I'm expecting here is just as Dub picks up 0, he's probably gonna go to the roof and go to Sunlight and put a cam up. And is it bar? Would it be bar?
Yeah, bar and cocktail. Cocktail is the A site, bar is the B site.
He would put it in bar and B site, and I'm hoping they push.
Yeah. I
haven't watched them since they played on Cafe, so it's something different and something new.
I don't know why Lobster did that. Like, it doesn't matter. There's not any rook armor left. I don't know why you have to destroy it. I guess it doesn't really matter either way. Who cares if you lose a little bit of ammo? I think he actually got it. Or maybe Kolb shot it. I don't know. But whatever it was. Whatever it is. State Fair still looking to keep the lead. And so far we've been following a pattern of State Fair one round, Hawkeye another. And we've been following that. We stuck through that. We rather stuck to that through the entire last half. So it'll be interesting to see how long we can stick to that. Will State Fair keep the pattern alive and win this one here? Or are Hawkeye going to, actually take this one? I already saw a couple of setup aspects that, again, I'm pretty impressed by. I like the pixel setup. I know plenty of my teammates have trouble with setting stuff up such as that. So seeing it from a team like Hawkeye, that's very good to see them playing good positions like that. Although, granted, they might not know how to play said position. They might just be doing it because they feel like they should, because they feel like, it just makes more sense. But, oh, I see people doing that. I'll just do that too, but don't know exactly how to play around that spot. Hopefully they do, though. It's already a minute 10. The window is being played by Katamir, but State Fair really haven't made too much progress into the map at all. I don't even think they've dropped the red hatch or the new hatch. As finally, Kurek is going to get inside, but you guys only have a minute left. What do you think's taking them so long?
Probably just trying to figure out what to do and everything, and probably discussing to each other and figuring out where probably everybody is so that they don't get snuck up on.
Yeah, they won't get snuck up on. That's almost definitely for sure, as they have Leviathan on board running the Nomad as well. But, oh man, this Lobster is just an absolute thorn in the side right now for the attackers. Finally, the Maestro Cam is taken down. The Evil Eye not alive any longer as Katamir taken down by Wagons. The push itself has not really been too effective, as it's only really Dub left towards Cigar Shop. Hungy and Leviathan are going to have to force their way up the stairs through the Malusi. Dub taken down. Everybody knows where the last two are because they can hear the audio. And although Kolb does lose that gunfight, there's not really much of a chance at all in the round for State Fair. Hawkeye break the trend, take the lead for the first time all series, and they have really come to play. They're not just getting lucky on the attacking side of Cafe. They are here to win this map. They're here to send us to number 3. And I'm all for it. I know you want to see the 2-0.
I want to see the 2-0, but I know that we may be getting a third map unless they decide to pull something out here and bring us in for a 2-0.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Yeah,
as many
so
bombs as
it'll
they
be
can.
interesting to see whether or not they can. Of course, State Fair Alpha, which I don't think we actually mentioned yet. This is the Alpha roster. Is there a difference? Like, is it like one of them is the higher ranked players or more experienced players, or do they just split them up randomly?
We split them up randomly. Like, Katamir, it's a dub. Hungy and Leviathan were all a team last spring actually. Then they had one of my roommates, close best friends now, Road Rage, on last year. So they had the team, and he's in the same boat as me with school. So we both decided to take a semester off and focus on our schoolwork, and but at least be in the helping out with the team and everything.
Yeah.
As much as we can. But
what is your role on the team, by the way? I don't think we've mentioned that.
Right now I am just in the majors. So throughout the season, I was helping out with the streams for our Twitch channel and just being there after I get out of class to come over there, take over from my coach, and control the stream for the rest of the night for him so that he didn't have to do too much, and if he needed to leave, he could leave. So
yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see all the commitment you guys have to esports. I sure wish my school was like that, let me tell you what. That sounds like it would be so much fun to be involved in. We have teams here, but we're not nearly as committed to it. It's just kind of people who feel like playing certain games on their own, by their own free will. I mean, we barely even had a Siege team. We had to get like one of the players who was less committed. You know, it was more of a last-second addition. It was kind of unfortunate. Our season just ended up last week, but we're going to get into the action of the round because in spite of the fact that it's so early on, Katamir already dead, and so is Kolbinator. It was Atlas able to get the last kill that we just saw onto Katamir as Kirik moving through the hallway, trying to take control of the bakery. Really starting to move forward, and there's one right behind the bakery bar. As he swings around, he gets a good angle, and down goes Kirik. Wagons able to get that kill, but Atlas is traded out. At the very least, traded out effectively, now that Atlas is still alive. He got the Rook Armor, though, so he's going to be able to withstand, and Wagons and Lobster are able to get one kill each, so it's just left to Leviathan. 1 versus 3 has some, some tracks that he could try and pick up on. Knows now that the Malusi is in the corner, just gets swung, but actually de-peeks from the angle as soon as Cuzzo starts to peek out. And now it's looking better and better for Hawkeye. Maybe the first time all map that we see a team lead by more than 1 round, as Leviathan is going to have to do quite a lot to prevent that from being the case. 35 seconds left. Going to move in. Obviously going to watch the first angle on the right first. Actually, no. Instead going to deal with the ping. Knew where Wagons was, but Wagons had the advantage in the gunfight. Simply wins that one out. And Leviathan very low, taken to no HP left at all. And State Fair CC, they've struggled the last couple of rounds, making that 3 in a row for Hawkeye. And it's really looking like we might be seeing Clubhouse.
Yeah.
How do you feel if they go to Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is one of their favorite, another favorite of their maps that they like using and playing on. So it's, if they lose this, then they're gonna go to possibly another map they can win on.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty interesting. I know Clubhouse and Oregon are the 2 most played maps in Siege at the moment. Everybody, has a club. Everybody has an Oregon, so to speak. You always have, you can play on those maps. So Cafe, obviously Hawkeye, feeling confident on this one. It's still a pretty popular map, but it's definitely not like a, like a bank or a theme park or a skyscraper, where if you feel really confident on one of those maps and you get to it, the other team, there's a good chance they just don't know how to play it at all. But, for all intents and purposes, Clubhouse and Oregon, with Cafe also being one of them, although it's a little bit more complex. These are maps that everybody can play pretty well for the most part. And there are ways to get around not feeling as confident on them. Like State Fair know that they're not as good at denying that vertical pressure, so they banned out the sledge. And they didn't ban out a fuse, they didn't ban out a buck, but they got rid of the sledge because they didn't want to deal with the nades from above and just how versatile that sledge can be. So Hawkeye, obviously though, still doing a great job actually working around the things that were put in place to make it harder for them to attack. They took 3 of the rounds, and now that State Fair are on the attacking side, they've been struggling. They really haven't looked to be too close in any of these rounds. I mean, they started off the last one pretty good, but Hawkeye, towards the very end, just got stronger and stronger, and now State Fair are looking for their first attacking round win. Do you think they're going to be able to take this one at the very least?
I'm hoping.
I guess that's all you really can do, right?
Basically.
They've gone to reading dining. The mining dining site is definitely a lot less of a typical pick. It used to be the second best one on this map. Is before they reworked Clubhouse, which I'm gonna show my age. Before they reworked Clubhouse, and it was actually like, oh yeah, you didn't even know this. Think about it. Bakery used to be one of the downstairs sites, like the the room that has all those wide open doors from the outside into it. That used to be like a bomb site. Like you could plant in there, and there were even more windows. Like less of the windows were metal than before than they are now.
That's
so
crazy.
Like, yeah, you can imagine how bad of a site that was. Also, reading dining did not exist yet. So now that those changes have been made, Cafe obviously a much better map because of it. At State Fair, they got the first kill, and then it was traded out, and now traded out and then some. Now that Cuzzo and Lobster, who have been having 2 great maps so far, along with Atlas, they're able to find 1 kill per, and now Kirik and Leviathan need to get away back into this round, but if anybody can do it, it's Kirik. Cuzzo trying to take some shots from up above, but he is taken low. Actually, a little bit of HP taken off of him and is not able to kill either Kirik nor Leviathan, as Kirik's just going to work his way in. Has dining open, but these holes opened can be used pretty well by those playing the stairs if anybody is on the stairs, but no more diffuser left for Kirik. Knows where to look for Leviathan, though, or at least for Colbinator. Is able to get the first one. Trades out Leviathan, but now has 2 players left to kill. 10 seconds left, and they're both sitting upstairs. Kirik going to try and run up the staircase and make whatever play he can, but it's not likely he'll find too much. Sees one, kills one, there you go, but he'll have to look to the opposite side, and Cuzzo is light years away. Not a shadow of a chance at that one going the way of State Fair at the very end of that one. And Hawkeye make it a 6-3 lead and decisively taking the defensive half. And we continue that trend of defense being so favored by the teams who pick it up. I mean, on the last map, attacking was favored just because State Fair were much better on Oregon. But this time around, defense obviously looking like the better site. Not that State Fair weren't very good on their defenses, but Hawkeye have done a great job with these outstanding setups, and they're just playing them so well.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I agree. As I just noticed that Academy just now picked up Gridlock for the first time in this whole match. Very interesting choice. And Kirik picking up the Amaru, and then it's a dub as Lion and Hungy as. So I think we're going with an Amaru push.
Oh, this is. I mean, you know what's happening here. Finka, Lion, Amaru, Dokkaebi. This is utility spam, and then everyone's gonna press their ability button. Dokkaebi's gonna call. Lion's gonna EE1D. Actually, I would prefer you don't use the Dokkaebi and the EE1Ds at the same time, because that's like kind of, if you think about it, it's kind of a reason for them to stand still, so it might make the EE1D less effective. Try and use them separately, get the most value out of that utility that you can. Unlike the cluster charges and the EE1D, the logic bomb and the EE1D don't necessarily work perfectly off of one another. But I mean, I know the Finka Surge is just so good when you run straight through, and I know that's exactly what Kirek's gonna do, because you don't pick Amaru to not run into this site. Like, why are you picking Amaru? Just pick anyone else. Surprisingly, actually, gonna take this one kind of slow.
Oh.
Get straight in. Oh, wait.
Oh, okay.
He's hatching this. I kind of like this. They're droning him in to see how available the hatch is, and that is how you take control pretty quickly. Already has that pixel angle, but no, that wasn't called out that Cuzzo was there. At the very least, if it wasn't called out precisely enough, because Cuzzo wins that fight so effectively, and nobody is there to play the trades. State Fair give away an advantage for free at the start of the round, and nobody to deal with Lobster's evil eye. As Katamir is just gonna watch it and make sure that it doesn't try and swing around to do too much more damage. Track Stingers go out to make it hard to play off that new balcony, and that's a pretty good spot for them to go if you're not going to use them on the flank watch. But Hiara's already used one set on that red stairs to make sure nobody comes up as well. Minute and 10 seconds left as Dub is able to trade that back. Perfect timing on that kill on the Cuzzo. If they had gone any longer without finding that frag, it would have been tough. Okay, you know what? It misses a few shots on the Malusi, but, you know, we can't all be perfect every day. As Lobster taken down there. Big kill for Katamir. Another one for Dub. And the push is so effective, and they haven't even needed to pop the EE1Ds, the logic bombs. They have just recently started to use them now, though, as Hungy has run out of logic bombs and EE1Ds. They're all gone from Dub, which is good because he just went down. So if he died with any on him, it wouldn't have been too good. And Hungy also dies with no logic bombs on him as well, but most importantly, they're both dying. Like, that is not good for State Fair, as Katamir and Leviathan still left alive. Katamir taken low, but so too is Atlas is now. Colbinator from the side, gonna have to go huge. Gets the first kill, ready for the second one as he comes around the corner. Leviathan sitting in supply as Katamir. Colbinator trying to just shoot through the bar. They're both at about 50 HP. Katamir gonna try and stick the plan. Time to play with. If he hears Colbinator running forward, he could try and get this, but the pings are coming out, able to get this plant down, and then just sits back into supply. 1 versus 1 just sitting in the pantry as Colbinator almost gets, oh, he does get it, and the withstand is gonna win him the round. Don't tell me that Rook's not a helpful operator, because he just won him that there. Oh my goodness, Hawkeye, in the closest 1v1 you could ever see, are able to take 4 consecutive defensive rounds, 5 rounds in a row at the very end of it, and send us to a map number 3 as they upset State Fair on the second map. But the third one is going to be something new entirely, and I'm so excited to see it because these matches have been living up to the hype so far.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, I did call it at the before. I was like, yeah, I think we're gonna go to map 3. I'm knowing it. Because Hawkeyes is such a good team. I've heard a lot about them, and we played them last spring, and they took us out of the playoffs. I think we were in playoffs, or I think they took us out of playoffs. I don't know, but
yeah,
like I said,
it's one of the two.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, Hawkeye had to win against. Oh yeah, they actually. I didn't even realize. Didn't realize that they beat the other State Fair team 2-0 to get here.
Yeah, they beat.
So that's
Team Bravo.
Team Bravo, gotcha. So that's how they ended up here. And obviously, you beat one State Fair team, you might as well try and go 2-0. But I mean, I'm sure that Alpha wants to avenge their Bravo brothers, and we will need to wait for the next map in order to see how that goes. But that next map is going to be very, very soon. We are going to have just a brief, short break, though, to make sure the teams are ready, everyone in production is ready to go. But stay right here, because it's going to be sooner than you could possibly imagine that we get into map 3. And map 1 and 2 have been pretty good, so I would definitely stick around if I were you.
I would too.
This series of videos to a weekly top 8 instead of just the top 4 like we did in the past. But anyways, that's enough out of me. I'm sure you guys are ready for some hype plays and crazy moments. So without further ado, here you go. In our season opening clip, we have Ghost and Nox with the devastating 1-2 combo that just breaks SLU at the knees. Or is it boosters?
Can't fall through. Nice bounce, but a nice goal right past the defender. Ox makes it look easy.
so surprised because I couldn't.
At number 7, Rawfam pounds his chest and decrees that he is the strongest in the jungle with this sick 3K to flip the point.
The arms and keeps everyone alive through that. Amplification Matrix came through, but we didn't get the same benefit we saw last time with the Amplified Fire Strike. Instead is Angry Monkey time from a fan with a 3K. Call that the Primal Blade.
As our first Smash play of the year, it's the clean 9 stock from Hydra to lock down New Jersey City's 2-0 win against Husson.
As they go for that kill confirm again, it's not going to connect this time, but there it is, just waiting on the platform for the spike. NJCU cleaning up in their signature style. Hydra leading the charge all the way home.
Next up, it's every shorty player's dream, and what's going to be a nightmare for University at Albany.
Up close and personal. This is the one player who's got a chance with his read. How about timing here? So step forward now into the angle. Certainly good for one.
Yikes.
There's the one. No one's reswung. He's reloaded. This never happens to a shorty player. Nebula's up now as well.
In our next clip, who needs teammates when you've got a wall? Grim surely doesn't.
Snaps and passes. They tried their best, and that is an open goal. But unfortunately, out the top, it's going to be the header in. Tit for tat, Grim takes it in on their own.
Ooh, spicy little double tap right there. You saw him looking for it, but that's not an easy read.
Rounding out our top 3, it wouldn't be a highlight video without our first ace of the season. D. Duraco, this one's for you. Enjoy.
Take out GSV.
A great shot there. Oh, Rocco, a deep push coming from the back for an ace. Rocco looking for one of their own. There's going to be a 4K already coming through. Now a 2v1. The hard rotate through and the kill.
Ace.
Rocco picking up the ace early and securing a true single player dominance.
In our runner-up spot, AZ Tropical has a bunch of things to do in this clip. The SD into... Well, he's got a lot. Just take a look.
But all right, 2 stocks to 6 for the Fanshawe team. Starting off strong, 45%, 54 uncontested. Let's see what Andy has to offer, because right now he's getting duffed by the Street Fighter.
Ooh, very good option coverage with those up tilts, but you're going to get jabbed once, and there's the uppercut right there, sent straight off the top. AZ Tropical now battling it out on Yoshi's story. It's looking kind of tough.
And as I was saying, if a character is going to start steamrolling, it's definitely a character with so much crazy zero death potential as we've seen in Kin, because wow, only 19% so far. And this isn't just any character, this is against Fire Mythra. Oh my god! Getting dared right in the face. AZ Tropical only 2 stocks away from tying this entire...
And in our number 1 spot in the you hate to see it category, what's higher than a high noon? Well, Becomix has the answer.
Trade out Leo Leon here. However, Kid Universe making important and inexorable progress. Leo Rafam taking a lot of damage, and it's Becomix finding 3 on the way down. Down goes Duck, and this is looking like an absolute rout for Keen University. Muskingum University just found lacking in points.
Man, after seeing all of that, doesn't that just make you want to say, wow? I mean, for me, I'm definitely speechless and so excited to continue bringing you guys these plays and all of this collegiate esports content. Now, if you want to check out more of the buzz on social media, definitely give us a follow on Twitter at ECAC_esports. Or, if you just want to check out the action live, be sure to tune in on our Twitch channel at ECAC_esports. With that said, I do want to give out a shout out to our partners at Esports U for not only helping to us expand our content, but really also to help bring up all of you guys more of this great collegiate esports action. Now, thank you all so much for watching, and feel free to let me know, what types of matchups or moments you'd like to see next. As always, I've been KTAD, and I'll see you all later. Have a good one.
My name is Dusty. I'm 24 years old, and this is my first year at Bay State College and first year towards my bachelor's there.
Hey everybody, we're back again with the NJCAAE Rainbow Six Siege quarterfinals. It's the second seeded State Fair Community College up against the 7th seeded Hawkeye Community College onto map number 3. These two have had the individual rounds have been close, but overall speaking, the maps that we've seen before this weren't necessarily the closest. The 7-1 in favor of State Fair on Oregon, and then Hawkeye took their map pick of Cafe 7-3. So, I mean, if we're going off the last maps, it basically evens out to getting to the point where this should be pretty even, but I know that we could see realistically anything here. Is State Fair did get to choose the side they start on because they did better in map 1 than map 2, and they will be choosing the defensive end, and that could be all the difference that they need, or it might not even help. I mean, last time they started on the defensive half, they didn't do too well, and that was the last map we just saw. So do you think the last map and the way it went is going to be affecting them, Goblin?
I don't know. I went over there to hype them up and tell them good luck again. And I went over there. Hungy was like hyping them up, telling them like this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna play it, and just like boosting up their confidence. So I'm excited for this team. I'm very proud of how far they've came since last spring, and just if they win it, then that means we're going farther than what we did last spring. But if they lose it, they know deep down that they did better than what they did last spring, because they, like I said, they never had number 2 seeds. So
yeah. You know, they already have done a fantastic job, and like you said, they're already essentially doing as better than they did last spring, but they don't want to be just as good as last spring. They don't want to be a little better. They want to be the best. They're here to win the whole thing. But Hawkeye, same goes for them. Coming in as the 7th seed, they had to beat the other State Fair team, the State Fair B team, to actually get here, who came in as the 10 seed. Hawkeye won that matchup, and now they could go 2-0 against State Fair Community College. Slightly favored are State Fair coming into this last map because they're the higher seed, because they did better in the regular season, because they had a more convincing map win when they won, and even when Hawkeye won on Cafe. The individual rounds were, for the most part, very close, and the map itself was much closer than Oregon was, but we can't necessarily go off of that because Oregon might have just been a fantastic map for State Fair. We have no idea what their clubhouse is necessarily like. I know you mentioned it's a map that they love to play, but we also don't know what Hawkeye's clubhouse is like, and I'm just hoping that we get the most interesting map that we could possibly have.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this one turns out. This is another map that they like to use and run, and they know like the back of their hand, and they know like how they want to run it, and just basically they talk about it beforehand in like practices. I watch them run how they want to play on most stuff, and like Clubhouse is another one of their favorites, so I'm excited.
Yeah, makes sense why you would be so excited coming into this one. I can understand the hype around State Fair. They've definitely turned me into an enthusiast of theirs, so with how well they've played so far today. Same does go, though, for the likes of Hawkeye, as Thatcher is on the board, but they chose not to go with him this time, and it's going to be pretty tough to get these bandit charges down. Running back into construction to pick up the other one is Leviathan, just to leave it on this wall, but no EMPs are left, and so they've successfully tricked the wall. Good job to Leviathan, but the impact player through the entire series for SFCC has been Keurig, and he's the first one to go down. Not to be confused with the coffee brand, which I actually have referred to him as Keurig multiple times through the broadcast tonight, and that is my mistake.
I think that's what he said, that his plan was to make it sound like that.
Oh, so that was why he picked the name?
I think so. I think that's what I've heard him say before.
Oh, all right, yeah. So that probably is the truth if he said it. But yeah, so I like it. It's a nice name. Got a nice little ring to it. But regardless of how his name sounds, he's not going to be. We're not going to be saying it too much for the rest of this round in particular because he's already gone down. Leviathan, low on HP as well as Katamir. Trying to just play around this impact hold anybody out of logistic if he can, but he used the shoddy at long range. And as good as the M590 can be from that far out, it's not necessarily as good from way too far out, especially since it looked like he was at an awkward angle and part of that chunk might have actually gone into the wall. Regardless of what happened, it wasn't enough to get the kill. And now Katamir left on the ground until Wagon's able to finish him off. Now Cuzzo pushing forward, knows there's one inside of Cash, but doesn't even really need to worry about him too much. Just needs to watch his back because it's a 2 versus 5 as he sees him swing around, he gets the kill. And it's a flawless round to start off Hawkeye on the right foot. Attacking gets them their first round win of the half. Their first round win of this map. And, well, it's looking good for Hawkeye to start with. That's definitely for sure.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Getting to round number 2, State Fair. Not feeling too good about their gym bedroom defense, instead choosing to switch over to Cash and CC. Pretty typical hold of Cash CC as well. Of course, the tricking is going to be a little harder on this site because of the window that is behind. They don't have a Jaeger or a Wamai, so it'll be hard to deny the nades that will presumably come out from Atlas to try and deny the presence on that wall from Leviathan, but it was supposed to be a tough trick last time, and he made it work anyways. So, no reason to believe he can't do it again here as Keurig. Not happy with the way the round went last time, trying to get things started early. Priming an impact nade for a spawn peek or a run out of some kind, but opens the door and then doesn't do too much with it. Just kind of holding the angle, waiting for someone to swing into him instead. As Colbinator sees that secret window is open, and that's going to make it hard for him to push in as quickly. The alibi being there is going to waste all that time without actually needing to give his presence there, but Atlas, okay, entering through dirt, that's one of the stranger spots he could have gone from. But, I mean, it gets you the kill, and Keurig trying to escape through secret was not allowed to do so, and now, 2 rounds in a row, historically the most impactful player from State Fair is taken down, and Hawkeye are going to have a great round to start with as the Cali is able to get the round opened up with the wall getting opened up with 1:50 left to play. It really opens the round wide up, and it's going to make it so much easier for Hawkeye as they start to push forward. No presence in garage either for State Fair, so this is not looking like a great defense for them. They're really not putting their guns in the right spots, and the nade up red stairs is going to take Atlas's kill and give it to him. It's a dub going down. Cuzzo's just going to run straight through. They don't have any presence underneath, so no C4s to worry about. Shoots a frost mat, just trying to watch the angle because knows he has plenty of time to get this plant down, and he will start to get the diffuser onto the ground. In goes the gas canister, but it might be a little bit too late as Cuzzo's gotten the plant down already. We could see 2 flawlesses in a row as Leviathan ready for one to round the corner. Sitting in said corner is, I believe that's Cuzzo, but not exactly sure. As he swings out, big kill there. It actually was Lobster to play there, so they won't get flawless twice in a row, but they've only got 30 seconds left until this diffuser is fully gone. Only really 20 seconds to actually hop onto it, and Atlas comes up red stairs, takes a couple of kills, and locks out the round for Hawkeye. State Fair not off to a great start so far, starting on defense as well. Maybe the momentum from the last map might have them kind of thrown off. Do you think that might be a possibility with the?
Might be a positive. I mean, I kind of went in there and Hungy was trying to hype them all up. Some of them seemed down, and then he was just trying to hype them up, put them in a better mood, and say that we got this. That we're not down yet. We're just we're here, but we're not down yet.
Yeah, they're not dead quite yet, but this map has not started off the best for them. Leviathan, the only one to find a kill, and he's only got 1. 6 kills already for Atlas, as it was 4 in that last round. For the Sledge coming up the red stairs, making it look easy as he frags out as much as possible. And like you said, I mean, Hunky definitely trying to hype everybody up. The hype man might need to show it in the server as well for everyone to really start to believe. Because getting that 1 round could lead to everyone feeling so much more inspired than they already were. But at least for the time being, not much reason to believe for State Fair because, you know, they had a really rough first couple of rounds. If this basement doesn't go their way, I'm really not sure what else they could do. Because it's not likely they go to bar stock, and none of these sites have really looked good for them. I hope we see State Fair really get active, get aggressive, start pushing for those kills, because that's all that they need to do to really get the ball rolling. I mean, doesn't it? Do you think they feel like, based on what you heard and based on what you're seeing now? Do you think they're playing like they're scared? It doesn't. I mean, it hasn't looked like they've been playing their usual selves too well. As Hunky gets that first kill.
They kind of seem like they're off and everything else. I mean, they're kind of down. Like you said, kind of they need to push and kind of get some more kills knocked off and just, like I said, Hungy's just, like you said, Hungy just kind of needs to push and motivate them to maybe end game.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, though, because Hungy has had a really rough first 3 rounds. So when your moral leader is having a really rough go of things to start, you need to have somebody else step up. And although Keurig was able to live longer than 2 of his teammates this time, doesn't live very long at all. Kadamir able to find his first kill of this map, gets that one down, hops back through the blue hatch, but then realizes that it's probably a risky play to go there, as Lobster already with the site very much open. Atlas already having 2 kills as well. Looking to reach 10 before the half is halfway done. Or actually, as the half reaches halfway done, is Kadamir allowed to push up far. This could be huge, and he might just find a way into this round. We'll have to alleviate the pressure from upstairs, though, to actually get anything going in this round, as Cuzzo will give away the fact that he is still up here. And Atlas is as well. Kadamir going to try and blow open a hole in the backside to make something happen, but he's been flashed out. Not sure exactly where to look as Cuzzo. Risky spot, but Dub able to get one more. That's Atlas down at the bottom of the stairs. Colbinator taken down as well. It's only Cuzzo, but Cuzzo is in such a good spot. And you got close this time, State Fair, but Hawkeye take the round again. And it is Cuzzo who's been the difference maker all map. They played without him on map number 1, got 7-1, and we were talking about maybe it was just a difference between like map preference, but it looks like Cuzzo might be the difference maker as well. He stepped in, and since then, it's been 10-3 effectively in the total rounds that have been gotten by both teams in favor of Hawkeye.
As you said that, I think I hear my coach trying to push him a little bit more up.
Yeah, I mean, any motivation you can get is welcome at this point for State Fair, as Kadamir nearly had an inspiring performance. Should he have tried to get that last kill with the SMG instead of going for the shotty through the hatch? You know, it might have been enough to get that kill, might have been enough time to get that defuse, but it wasn't enough, barely, as we just saw in State Fair. It looked really rough to start with again. They'll go back to gym bedroom. Maybe this is the time they'll figure something out now. They're going with a little bit of a different strat. They're reinforcing cash wall. Actually, no, they're not. That was just a mistake by Leviathan. First, accidentally reinforcing the wrong wall as Kadamir. Gonna mute open, or rather, not mute open, but rather mute the bathroom wall to make sure nobody's gonna be able to push through. And what do you think they should try and do differently this time around on this site compared to what happened last time?
I have no clue.
I mean, yeah, that's really it was a decisive.
Maybe just try and maybe hold angles and a little bit more, and just don't do anything that I would do.
Well, the coach, I guess in this case, our analyst of State Fair, did a good job just kind of, because I mean last time on this site, right? It was 5 players left alive for Hawkeye. It was a flawless round. They couldn't have done any better in this round. And so, like, not in this round, but in round number 1, is 3 rounds later, we see State Fair coming back to Gym Bedroom, but there's so much that has to change. You can't really sum it up with anything. But across the whole map, again, it really just needs to be more aggression. The only time we've seen any flashes of brilliance from State Fair was from Kadamir in the last round, because he was getting so aggressive, peeking things so aggressively and so readily available to go for those fights, to take those fights, to not just letting the opposing players come to him, rather taking the fight to them. It made such a difference as Hungy caught in a rough spot. There you go, able to escape down the hatch. That's an innovative escape. Now he's going to try and come through underneath and make the play, but Atlas is oh so ready to watch that angle. Hungy dead, and now he's closing in on that double-digit kill count as we reach 10, or as we nearly reach 10 kills for him. We are reaching 4 rounds on the map, so he's been dominant so far. And a decent amount of control already in hand for Hawkeye, but they don't have a ton. Definitely could have more. It's just going to be down to how the fights go coming in, but the fights have been going their way, and they will continue to do so as Cuzzo is able to get that first kill, rather the second kill on the round. His first on this one, his 4th on the map, and now it's just going to be down to deny the diffuser, but they can't quite do that. Cuzzo another kill to deny Keurig. That frag is now Leviathan coming through trying to do what he can. It's Cuzzo. Knocked down now, not quite finished off. Is finished off by Kadamir. But now, it's Kadamir this time again in a 2 versus 5. This time around, though, he's got Leviathan to work with. And he's doing just as good a job as the last. Big headshot in the lobster. Trying to inspire the confidence in his teammates, but just not doing enough. The air jab deals with him, and Atlas reaches 10 frags as he deals with Leviathan on the back end. And State Fair yet to really do anything so far. And Hawkeye look like they're getting closer and closer to the upset that not too many of us predicted.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
It's been a tough one so far for State Fair.
Has been.
Yeah, and it stinks because, you know, these guys, they got 2nd place in the regular season, and they did so well on their first map as well. They had a bunch of close rounds on Cafe on top of that. You hate to see them going down in such a fashion, but I at this point, I feel like all the coach needs to say is start playing like Kadamir. Start taking those aggressive fights. Start really trying to make the difference in the round. Is unfortunately, Hungy did really start to try and go for those fights last round. Hungy went down because of it. Not sure exactly what happened to the other members, but this time it's Keurig playing Caveira, not even setting up in the prep phase, just getting immediately downstairs because he wants to be as impactful as he can on these flank plays, on this overextended roam. Realistically speaking, it's a vastly overextended to compared to where it really could be. But
I also think another thing is that maybe not roam, because that's how fast we lose our players.
Yeah, so the way they've been roaming so far hasn't been working, but they're actually going to invest even more in it. Kadamir and Keurig are both on the roam this time around, with Atlas droning out all the basemen. And this is probably why the roam clear has been so effective from Hawkeye. They've been doing such a good job at just clearing the entire map, not wasting any time, just, you know, taking their time, not wasting any of that time, though. They're doing effective, important clears at every second of the round. They're making sure certain parts of the map are completely good, but did they fully clear Keurig, or will he be spotted out? Has he already been spotted out, or will he be effective in this spot, just sitting in a corner, waiting for an opportunity? He might be getting pushed by Atlas, and there it is. Atlas is going to start to make his way through dirt. Lobster already has as well. Lobster anticipating a player down here. And it looks like they might have gotten him, but I don't think Kurik's going to be ready for two. Might get over aggressive and try and go for the interrogation, but instead, Lobster is in a completely obsolete part of the map, hard aiming into the right side. It looks like they must have droned out Kurik, because that's the only real reason why you would have been so diligently clearing that angle. But it works out for Lobster, and Kurik denied again. Still yet to find a kill after being the standout performer for 2 maps in a row for his squad. And like you said, he was the one who we expected to do so well coming into it. And they're not even holding the garage here. Again, State Fair, give up the garage control. They have a yokai to make things annoying for Cuzzo, but it's not really going to do too much. It'll delay the plant a little bit, but they're still down 2 players. They still have a diffuser planted to deal with, and they are now in a 2 versus 5 dealing with said diffuser plant. It's only Hungy and Leviathan this time to do anything about it, but it's not looking likely. The angles are set up so well by State Fair, as Atlas is at the red stairs once again, looking for the angles, nearly gets that flick. Not quite able to find it though. 20 seconds left. Is Leviathan going to go underneath? Just not enough time. At this point, you might as well save the KDs and talk about what you do differently in the next round, because Leviathan really doesn't stand much of a chance, as now he's been put in the 1 versus 4. Looking to just get whatever kills he can out of it. Has reached 4 and 4, so was even for just a little while, but Hawkeye takes him down at the very end and makes sure that this map is going to be ended as decisively as possible, as it's the same kind of stuff we saw in Oregon. It's a decisive attacking half by a team on a map where a defense is relatively favored, more or less. Defense is the half that State Fair wanted to start on. It's where most people are most comfortable on Clubhouse, and they have not really looked comfortable whatsoever. It's been really rough to watch. Can only hope they'll be able to regain towards the end of this map. But it doesn't look great, but we can't count them out of it quite yet. We've seen crazier comebacks before in Siege. We've seen lesser teams win against better teams, and obviously State Fair, a great team. So anything can happen. It's just about when will they really get started. Or even will they get started? Like, will they have a chance to really start?
I'm just, like I said, I just think that, like you said, they need to start getting more aggressive, kind of like what Ketamir has been doing and Leviathan has been doing, and maybe not roam as much, maybe just stay in sight, hold angles, help each other out, talk to each other, communicate a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you said, coach, maybe talk him into it, get him more motivated and get him more into the game, possibly. And you said that they don't count them out just yet. Maybe they'll pull something out and have something together, possibly. Or whenever they go attack, maybe something will switch on them.
They looked really good on attack on Oregon, and that's not the favorite there, so it's safe to say that they could have an inspirational attacking half. But I mean, again, our response here should not be a full map roam. Nobody's on the site at all. Like, the fact that, like, the roam has been what's been getting people killed early without doing too much, it's a curious decision to me that they've completely left the site wide open and they're just a full roam, like they don't care. But it kind of is working. They're so decisively in favor of this roaming aggressively compared to, just holding the site itself, which, by the way, they've also, as our lovely producer showed us there, they've also completely opened up the wall between the two sites.
Yeah.
They're not even trying. Like, they've given up on anchoring. They're just going to try and take as many fights as they can. Unfortunately, Kurik again goes down early, and this time, Hungy and Leviathan look pretty rough for wear as well, but Leviathan got that kill into Atlas. So although Cuzzo got Hungy, it's a 3 versus 3 still. State Fair haven't really had this good of a chance in a round in a while, so they'll need to make the most of it. Leviathan has that C4 underneath as well. Could be massively impactful. Ketamir has been the impact player so far this map. If anyone's been stepping up, it has been him. And will it continue to be him, though, is the question. I think that's a spectator bug. I don't know why Lobster is staring at an unreinforced wall. Oh, it's because he has the 0 there. He's going to try and play off the intel, but he couldn't get the kill. That's a really interesting way to watch the flank, but now he's kind of left all on his lonesome because he didn't really do too much, and that wall is not opened enough for him to get through it. Takes a lot of HP off Cadamir, though, so that could be massive, but the only player left alive at full HP is Dub. Everybody else at least has a little bit taken off him. There's 30 seconds left. Hawkeye pushing straight in, allowed to get through for free, and Cuzzo gets that first kill. Leviathan C4 from underneath is not going to do anything but destroy his teammate's own 80. Yes, Cuzzo trying to do something, but oh no! Lobster's dropped the diffuser outside due to fall damage.
So they
don't need to do anything.
11 seconds. Oh.
Yeah, there's not any time left. Leviathan gets the first kill and the second one as well. And what a fun surprise that was to see that, hey, we got the last one for free because Lobster fell down off the roof. And an unlucky way for them to go down, but that's something for State Fair.
As they switch and go back, like I said, maybe they heard me. maybe they were like, yeah, this guy's got something.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll post, like I said, they'll post something out, maybe have some more motivation. Maybe coach talks something into them and put something in their head. And now they're on attack, so maybe they'll pull something out of attack, pull this back. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, State Fair, you know, you made the joke of like maybe they were listening to me. I don't think they were, because we were saying for them to do the exact opposite of what they did last round, but it worked. So don't listen to us then, I guess. 5-1 deficit. 5-1 deficit, but it's better than the 6-0. That much is for sure. Infinitely better than if you didn't have any rounds at all. And you prove to yourself that you can get things to work, right? Cadamir and Leviathan are toe-to-toe with some of the best players on Hawkeye. They're actually better than everyone on Hawkeye, save for Atlas and Cuzzo, who are on 11 and 10 kills respectively, just having monstrous maps so far. And I mean, you know, those are two very good players. Cuzzo's looked very good since he's come in, and Atlas has been their most solid player through the entire series because, well, Cuzzo hasn't been here the whole series, but also just because he's been so solid, been so consistent, been able to consistently provide that frag potential. And as for State Fair, it's the exact opposite of Oregon. As much as I've been saying it's similar to Oregon and, you know, a 5-1 attacking half to start, you know, one team looks drastically better than the other. It's the opposite for State Fair, because where Hungy and Keurig couldn't really have been doing any better on Oregon, they could literally not be doing any worse so far on Clubhouse, as Hungy and Keurig both yet to find a kill. Hungy has 7 assists, but at what point is that like just, okay, cool, you have a lot of assists, but that's really just not enough. At what point do you actually start finding the frags? This might be the point as he enters in through dirt. Proximity alarm is going to give away his position, and the castle barricade's going to make it tough to get through. He is playing the Maverick though, so could be able to soft breach, and there's not really too much presence inside of the site to watch him. Lobster has a decent angle, and Colbinator would be able to hold the push through, but you know, if you take that first gunfight against Kolb and win it, there's not really too much on the site itself to hold you out from just getting all of dirt and then just keeping it, winning the round from there. Because as much as vertical pressure is important for the attackers, on the defenders' side, there aren't really too many spots that you can necessarily deny, like too many plant spots that you can deny with holds from above. So having this control as the defenders is mostly just good because the attackers don't have it, but now the attackers are starting to take it. Leviathan gets the first kill into Cuzzo. That means the Legion, who's been second top fragging all game, is now down, but that means Leviathan's down as well because Wagons comes through for a trade, and dirt seems to be the main point of emphasis, as well as the bottom of main stairs. Keurig looking primed and ready to just push straight through. Colbinator is here, but a lot of this presence, again, is off the site. So, in goes Hungy, not able to get the kill. Command, oh, everybody's just dying all over the map, and it's just left to Dub. I said that you might be able to get the push through to go well if you just win the gunfights, but nobody won them. And now it's only Dub alive, Atlas solo. Colbinator, a little HP taken off him as well as Lobster, but just such a good job to Hawkeye, holding him out. And now Dub in an impossible situation. Lobster not over peeking. If he does, he might get caught. And he actually peeks around, gets a good kill. And it didn't even look like Dub stood a chance there as State Fair. Still yet to find an attacking round. And because of that first attacking round loss, they now need 5 in a row to drag us to OT. And I know we said not to count them out, but not counting them out by saying this, but it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It's going to have to start with this next round, but it's going to be anything but simple, especially with how good Hawkeye looked on that last defensive site.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So, State Fair. Can only imagine they've gotten much quieter since Oregon. And even points on Cafe. Yeah, you hate to say it, but it has just kind of, it do be like that sometimes. Should they not be able to make this comeback, it'll at the very least be a very good lesson for the future. And, I'm sure they'll still put in as much work as ever, but it's disheartening. You come into the playoffs as the second highest ranked team after the regular season. And right now, you're on the brink of losing to the same team that beat your sister team, a team that you did much better than in the regular season. As now, the Thatcher comes out, but Wagons gets that first exothermic charge. And there's really nothing more demoralizing than once you've already been having a bad game, you get the exothermics taken off the wall by a really good bandit tricker, and a great job there getting it open eventually. You've run out of thermite charges, but at the very least you get that main wall open. That's all that you need to get an effective whole push into this site, but they're not going to give away Garage for free. Hawkeye will not make the same mistake that State Fair made so many times on defense. They're going to hold the Garage rafters. Lobster playing the Azami up here. It's such an effective spot to play. And honestly, this makes sense. I've been very impressed by the HCC strats compared to what State Fair have been doing. And this round in particular is a fantastic start. It's a great strategical one. And, Keurig, if they lose this round here and now, Keurig will have gone down every single round in this map without even so much as getting a single kill. But they're going to run straight in and try and go for the plant. But they haven't cleared Lobster out. What on earth is that? You can't just plant with the guy at rafters. That's not going to work at all, ever, unless the smoke is perfect and he gets really unlucky spraying through said smoke. But now, 1 minute, 20 seconds left for State Fair to pull off a miracle. And, well, 4 rounds after that to pull off even more of a miracle. It's getting worse and worse as every second passes by without SFCC finding a frag. As HCC, proving to be the better of the community colleges, at least so far. And they're going to get yet another one. Atlas making it more. 15 kills on the map as he makes Hungry his 15th victim. It's a Dub and Leviathan. As Dub only with 1 kill so far this map. Leviathan's actually been positive so far, so at the very least, he has that to hold on to. Maybe, if anyone could do it, it would be him, but Dub swings into the angle, gets a great lethal shot onto Lobster. And who knows, maybe that could be the start. Dub just trying to place the Claymore down towards the top of Red. Red Hall, if you will, as Leviathan gets another. Now, just have to deal with the player top Red, the C4 underneath from Atlas, as well as Wagons inside the site. Leviathan really could have a great angle onto Bandit should he move through. Dub going to start to go for the plant, but the C4's right under. He'll get taken down. That's only Leviathan left. Give it up his position. Give it up his life. And State Fair CC have given up the series. They started so strong, but Hawkeye win 14 of the last 18 rounds we see tonight and take things so decisively in the last map as well. A great map to everybody. Both State Fair and Hawkeye, a great series overall, and a lot to be proud of for both sides. But it's Hawkeye who come out of this the better of the two. They move forward into the semifinals of the Open Division of the NJCAAE. It's a 6-letter abbreviation. You can't expect me to remember that all, but it's been a rough one, and unfortunately, Goblin, I can tell just by looking at your face cam, it's it's disappointing. Oh no, yeah, okay, he's back, he's good. His internet went out. I got worried for a sec. Goblin, I thought you were literally just sitting there in the same position, but it was because your internet cut out. So I don't know if he can still hear me or not, but you know what? It is what it is. Regardless, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Unfortunately, won't be able to get the last word from Goblin due to some unfortunate internet connection issues towards the very end, but congratulations to the Hawkeye Red Tails for moving forward. They successfully take down both State Fair Community College rosters, and, well, thanks to that, they've found themselves into the semifinals. Best of luck to them moving forward. Not sure if we will be broadcasting anymore from this league, but who knows? Maybe we'll see you guys around sooner or later. My name has been Happiness. Along with me for the broadcast has been Lil Goblin. Follow us both on our socials. Tune into us. I know I personally do a ton of casting, so I always post about it on my Twitter as well. And Goblin, whatever he's up to with helping SFCC and whatnot, if you want to keep up with them, follow him on Twitter as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. But that's all that we really have for you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into Esports U. Congratulations again to Hawkeye, and have a great night, everyone.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big
is that we don't have these preconceived notions, and we're willing to listen to our membership and read the room, read college athletics and how it's connected and how it's not, and take what we have expertise in championships, but also throw out some of the other stuff. I remember when we first started, there were some conferences were applying their amateurism rules to all of their esports competitors, and I think we knew enough to know that no, that's not going to work in an esports culture. It's got to be very different. And by the way, the NCAA was going in a different direction. You could see the train had already left the station on that, and so it's an incredibly dynamic area and ever changing, and will continue to change. And just as we didn't know when we started what it's going to be looking like, I think similarly we still don't know what it's going to be in another 5 years. I know enough to know that all of us are still going to have a thriving esports program that's doing a real good service for our members and for our competitors. But we still don't know necessarily what some of that is going to look like, and that's pretty cool about it all. Let me ask you this, because you all are used to dealing with your athletic directors, and each of them are dealing with what's in front of them in their athletic departments. My guess is at least some of your schools are that this is not necessarily operating within the athletic department. And can you talk about how you navigate that in a conference office, and maybe the best way to handle that, or do you have preferences? Do you try to steer them one way or the other? And just talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Sure. The majority of our schools are not under the athletics umbrella. We have one institution that perhaps by next year will be under the auspices of athletics, but most of them are in other departments across campus. Right. One of the things that has helped us is that we have support from the president's office. And so in order to participate in Mountain West events, you have to have an adult non-student administrator that oversees that, the eSport program. And that's where we get assistance with, eligibility checks and, please complete your roster, things like that. I don't know in the future, and it depends on, who's sitting in the athletics director's chairs, whether or not more esport teams will go under the umbrella of athletics. And I'm kind of indifferent in terms of whether it should, because I don't want esports to go down the road that some conventional sports have gone down with the NCAA. So we have a unique opportunity to kind of craft esports in a way that fits what esports is, as opposed to trying to fit it into a conventional athletics box, so to speak.
Right.
You know, I think the success of our program and getting participation is exactly that. The fact that we're not tying it in necessarily to athletics and NCAA eligibility. Like Carolyn, we probably have 3 or 4 schools that are under athletics. And I know it puts them in a difficult position sometimes trying to make some decisions. I got a request recently to consider allowing part-time students to participate during this year, because some schools struggle sometimes to fill out all the games that they want to play with us. And we held off on that for now. You know, we defer to the institution and say, what's your policy for those that are under student development or activities? What's your policy for allowing students to participate? And if you certify that they're eligible under your current policies, then that's good for us. I also think, and I was part of some of the conversations early on with the NCAA years ago about the NCAA getting involved as a Division II representative, and I was crossing my fingers that wouldn't happen, just because I think this needs time to grow, you know, and expand.
Can I ask Rob a question, because you mentioned part-time enrollment, and one of the things that we've done here is that as a conference, we've just set eligibility standards, full-time enrollment, making progress towards your degree as the institution defines it. Are you guys doing something like that as well? Because we've gotten that part-time enrollment question and we've said no. Yeah,
no, I don't think we've gotten that far down the line, Carolyn, to ask for that. I think we kind of put it on the institution, but we do say that the student has to be a full-time. Now, they could be a full-time grad student, but they have to be full-time as from what the institution decides.
Yeah, our eligibility requirements are just as simple as can be. You have to be a full-time student in good standing.
Yes.
And after that, and that's about it. Now I think we wanted as few impediments to getting this thing rolling as possible in the outset. I do think as schools get more competitive, they will start to distrust one another, and that's why we have this 500-page NCAA manual, because schools distrust one another. But we're not there yet. You know, right now there's still a collective. Let's move this forward, and the fact that the NCAA is not administering it, I think, is really helpful to the growth of it all. And yes, we allow grad students. We don't even have a 4 or 5 year clock. If you are full-time enrolled for 10 years in good standing, you can do, and why not? Why would we not say that that's okay? Now, eventually, like I said, we may change our minds if the schools require it. They say, no, this is crazy. Look what they're doing over there. We don't like, but I think we're still a long way from that. Alex, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I echo everything that really Carolyn has said. You know, you're gonna have to forgive me. What was the original question? It's been a minute. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, just kind of what you set out to do, and then what maybe the realities of it all.
Hey guys, KTAD here. Now, I've been told I need to step in to create like a buffer zone between some of the other hosts so that the Valorant v Overwatch conflict may finally come to an end. But between you and me, guys, I don't think they both realize that League's kind of already won that war. So don't tell them anything. But anyways, you guys already know why we're here, and if not, well, then you're in luck, because we've got some of the best collegiate esports moments right here. Don't believe me? Well, that's okay, but here's your proof. Let's get into it. To start us off, we have the combo of Matt and Festive as they execute a brilliant mid-air handoff to close out.
Hello, 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 and welcome everyone to the Esports U main channel. I'm your host with the most acoustics, and joining me today is my boy Sweet.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, acoustics. I'm excited for today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got a banger today, and it is the quarterfinals of the ECAC Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament between the colleges. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a fun one. I mean, these are two teams that have really cruised through the regular season. St. John's 8-0, and both teams actually undefeated through the regular season. Even to get here, though, they had some big wins. I mean, Northwood getting the upset over Keene, the number 5 seed, one of those other undefeated teams in the bracket. That was a huge win for them. But the big thing about these two schools, when they get the ball rolling, they are so difficult to stop. Once that first set gets under their shoe, they are just so difficult to shut down. So this first game, this first match is going to be so impactful.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and both teams having people are very important just to the scene in general. Titko leading the St. John's team. He's one of the notable players here in New York, and then Seth Stational actually on the Northwood University team. So both players that I actually know about. So I'm surprised. I'm ready to see who's finna cook. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to get cooked?
It feels like it's going to be one of those matches too, right? I mean, the way these two teams play, again, it just feels like it's one, it feels like Mike Tyson, the knockout punch, essentially. That's what these two schools can bring to the table. But whoever is going to deliver that blow first is what we are going to find out. Even when you look at the character matchups too, I mean, across the board, there are some interesting characters that can play at various paces, but it feels like most of these players, it feels like it's going to be fast paced. It feels like it's going to be a lot of rush downs and just heavy boxing type of action. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, that's the type of game I like. Absolutely. We also have Alamola on the St. John's team. Last time we actually got to see St. John's play, and we commentated their match. Alamola's Joker was cooking right there. We're ready to see. EJJ's Diddy Kong. I remember that. Oh, okay. Hold on. I like this type of match we're going to see. People are cooking. And then potentially on Northwood's team, we can see a King K. Rool come out, bro. A King K. Rool. Can you believe that?
I can. I mean, Copel's King K. Rool has been really playing great, and having those heavies as an interesting kind of way to play around that counter pick war, right? I always say that the heavies are just built for taking at least a stock or two, and so if it comes down to that, Copel's going to be the guy for that scenario. He's been that guy for Northwood in the past, but you look at the other players on this roster, SGP or So Good Pop. I mean, he's been playing fantastic on the Wii Fit. Frostbite, I think the last time we saw them on the Roy, they looked near unstoppable the way they were just connecting. It felt like everything they were throwing out was connecting. And so if that is what happens coming up in this match, I mean, look out. This is going to be an explosive match. EJJ is also, I think you pointed out, one of the players to watch for the side of St. John's. This Diddy Kong, so dangerous, especially if they have that banana on lock. If they are able to have possession of the banana peel throughout this set, they are so dangerous on stage and both on those ledge traps as well. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're getting word momentarily, I believe, as to who's going to start this match, but it's just going to be anything's on the table in terms of predictions here. Who knows who's going to take it, because these two teams, it's such a fiery, fast-paced match that's gonna unfold before us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of characters here that are focused on playing their game. Not too many zoners or trap characters. I think the closest we really have to that, funny enough, is like We Fit over on this side of
Northwood.
Of Northwood. My goodness. And then I guess you could kind of say you can play lane potentially with Diddy Kong right there, but it's not really his best play style. I've always preferred rush down combos, and look at that, we are right there getting started with the two characters we were just talking about, We Fit and Diddy Kong. EJJ going off against. Ooh, did we get the name for the second player?
SGP. That's got to be So Good Pop coming in. SGP for the side of Northwood. This is a traditional crew battle, best of 3 though, so this is just the first set between these two. You gotta take 2 sets. Oh my mercy! Seconds into the match, and SGP's got a spike, a 0 to death at that.
Brother, that was literally one down here after Fireball, bro, please. Oh, and now we're playing this dangerous game at the ledge. Oh, someone wants to die. Someone wants to die very quickly. Oh, no, SGP is right now putting it in the hands on EJJ. Brother, please let him fight back.
It's one of those cases where EJJ is thinking, I died so early, I got to find a way to take this back immediately, but SGP not having it. So clean around the ledge so far. And look at the percent differential. Already, EJJ's at 120 to just 18 for SGP.
Bro, that neutral beat at the start did 26%. like my goodness. Oh my God. Please, someone help him. EJJ already down 2 stocks. And there you go again, 26% already on the side of EJJ. Finally getting a little bit string there started, but you're already down 2 stocks. Oh my goodness. Do not let this be a quick one.
Gotta be careful here. They just get up with a simple, neutral get up and jab, and they get some damage off the back of it, and EJJ's already up to 80. I mean, Diddy Kong's relatively light here. They nearly get sniped by the soccer ball. This is a low recovery, just enough to get back in time. But EJJ's got to find something here, some sort of momentum, get a stock off the board, because getting a 3 stock off the bat is going to be so difficult to come back from in a match like this. Soccer ball's not going to land. Good forward air, though.
My man said, nice banana peel. It'd be a real shame if I got to use it on you. Oh, look at that. Oh! Deep breathing. Stretch out. And just like that, SGP with the clean 3 stock on EJJ. Yeah, I thought SGP was going to zone out, maybe play a little bit lame. My brother said, I'm going to cook. I'm gonna cook instead. Oh my gosh.
That first stock changed the game. It literally I want to replay. I want to know how fast that stock was. It was just just gone.
It was 13 seconds exactly.
13 seconds. Oh, and
he did 1 neutral B, tech chase, and did down air, and then it was just gone. The stock was just gone. Please, that has to be a clip of the week right there. Oh my gosh.
Actually absurd, because we thought EJJ would be the one being the Diddy Kong, running in, being aggressive, especially with banana peel, right? Like that seems like the thing to do, but just complete reversal in the first 13 seconds. And then from there, EJJ tries to get cheeky along the ledge, trying to instantly answer back with his own spike, and eats nearly 100% trying to mess around that corner of the stage.
Bro, he took way too much percent trying to play WeFit's game. You do not try to play WeFit's game, all right? WeFit does deep breathing, or deep snorting, as I like to call it, and then boom, now you're taking about 70% because you were playing on the wrong part of the screen right there, big fella. You do not mess. You do not play with WeFit at the edge. We learned that in New York against John Numbers. We do not play against the ledge with WeFit. And right there, you saw what happened. And then when you lose the momentum like that with 2 stocks, it's just way too hard to come back. It's just, especially against a character like WeFit.
And on a character like Diddy Kong, too, that's a little bit lighter, there are so many quick kill options that WeFit has. I mean, the forward tilt cleaning up that 3 stock. You've got up tilts. You've got even any of those quick movement options that you can just kind of throw out of shield, just the get off me buttons that WeFit has, are things that you have to worry about if you're EJJ in that moment, and none of it coming to fruition there. I believe this is Thicko going in here, I believe, for the second player for the side of St. John's. Oh no, this is Mr. L. Never mind. Yes, this is Mr. L, the Pikachu, stepping up in the second slot here and needing something on the board here early. Lots of edge guard potential. They don't get the stock off the back of it, but that's a quick 65 already racked up.
Absolutely, but there's a deep breathing on the side of SGP, which could quickly turn this match around with just a couple of tilts. Oh, there it is for Mr. L. Such a good matchup. Now it's right there, just using Pikachu's electric shock to kind of just deal with everything. Oh, nice. Tries to tech chase into the down smash, doesn't get it though.
I like the idea though. I mean, covering a lot of options with that down smash, but just not quite able to get the read that time around. And the neutral B is going to be a huge answer to that soccer ball, as you're already seeing. And there goes the first stock of SGP.
Absolutely. Potentially, this could be the turnaround that like St. John's really needs. If you're able to do the reverse 3-stock on SGP, that is so helpful for you. Oh, nice. Good dash attack.
No jump, but easy up B back to that platform. And that platform being there, I think Mr. L does not like this stage transformation, because a couple times he's looked for that down B spike, but has not had a great opportunity to really pull the trigger on it.
But right now, just Mr. L staying in advantage right there. It's just so good. Pikachu does have a lot of good options to just deal with Wii Fit in disadvantage. Simply because of the fact a lot of the times Wii Fit likes to go for header out of disadvantage. And the trade right there on the forward smash, actually managing to get him healed. Pikachu just has actually a lot of good disjoints, or a lot of good active buttons to deal with header. Their own projectile is another way to deal with it. And you just hit it back. You just take even more advantage.
Ooh. Somehow got around that jab. That timing had to be perfect, but the big question here is, does Mr. L hold on to the stock? It's going to be difficult at 143. There's a lot of quick kill options on this Wii Fit, but playing safe here. Good roll around that grab there at the last second, too.
Wow.
But the forward tilt is going to take it.
He sat there and waited and shield for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
What was he cooking? We don't know. Nice. I like that. No reason to have to play this too aggressive. Your Pikachu, you die very quickly to refit. But as long as you're willing to pay patiently, play that combo beam, you can rack up great percentages right there.
Yeah, and anything that SGP gets out of this is just kind of gravy on top. Even though taking the stock is going to be really difficult, he might look for something cheeky here. Holds neutral B instead. Just plays patient just to see if he can catch Mr. L jumping early or something. But Mr. L knows and just is aware of the great parry there. And the Thunder,
my
it's not
gosh.
going to take the stock quite yet, but it's dangerous still. Falling forward airs covering just about every option, but he's still alive. Has to be early, and he made it back to stage.
Like that, managing to dodge the header again. Oh my goodness, we went deep.
Oh! Back down in there. He still has his jump. Oh, but it's too low. Oh, the drift not enough. And SGP will fall, but he did take a stock off of Mr. L. So a one stock lead for Northwood still, as they will get ready to send in their second player.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great play just from Mr. L in general. Putting in work with the Pikachu, managing to deal with header. A lot of the times people get caught up in trying to like pressure Wii Fit. But then Wii Fit just like busts out either header or neutral B, or right in the middle of your combo, and then you suddenly wonder, why did I take 40%? So it's very smart for him to back off, go for Thunder Jolt, and just let it handle the Oki situation for you. And then if they mash out header, they take the hit from the volleyball itself, so you don't have to press that situation. You go for your simple combos back here in the up air. You don't go for anything too crazy. Slowly but surely, you win the percent match, and then you win the actual match.
Yeah, and it was really good stuff. And that neutral B, the fact that it did, or that it does kind of beat out that header was such a huge part, because, I mean, we saw that header do so much work against EJJ in that first set. That's a huge part of Wii Fit's kit. But we're getting ready for the second set here. I believe this is a button check at the moment. No, this is just going to be right into it. Frostbite stepping in on the Roy to go up against this Pikachu.
Okay.
Up one stock.
Oh, and there it is. Those back air strings, got to be careful. Back air just such a good active move out of shield for Pikachu, and then it almost always leads to a combo. But speaking of combos right now, Frostbite getting those string of up airs right there into the side B, and Mr. L is already at 81%. Got to be careful.
Yeah, this is kill percent with Roy's kill power. That helped, and I like what they did to kind of finish that off that previous combo. They got the side beat and used the downward angle just to make sure they got the percent, didn't go for that kill on stage. But the movement right now, both kind of trying to track each other down and trying to bait out some options. That back air, again, that active hitbox playing clutch, but jab into up air is going to do it. So down goes Mr. L's second stock.
Yes, sir. Imagine if I killed you with the hilt of my sword instead of the actual blade. Oh, nice. Good combo into the tilt. Oh, my goodness. That was almost disastrous. And I like the spacing out here for Frostbite. Realizing, listen, I can just do nair. You know what I'm saying? Do nair one, back off on your shields, be safe. Oof.
Full hit there at the side B. This is a good grab, though. Up air. Waiting.
Ooh.
Patient play from Mr. L. Just barely off on that spacing of the back air. There's a couple times he's wanted that edge guard. That's a tricky angle to get that ledge trump, but he doesn't find it. That down B actually, I think, might have saved him, and the up B fights through, and Frostbite gets back to stage, but for how long? He's at 149. Good parry. Up B out of shield. Forward air. Still holding on.
Oh, are we going for something crazy? I thought we were going for down there. I thought we were going to let him know. I was prepared to just let him know. All right. Ooh, wow. Going for the neutral B in there. Very interesting choice right there. Jab the back here. The Roy Classic.
Still not enough. Sour spot on that second one. Wow, Mr. L just barely holding on after that dash attack, too.
Hey, listen, one jab can finish this right here. This could be it. Ooh. I like the use of up B right there. Quick attack, manages to cross up opponents on shields. It's relatively safe option too on the ground. I like that. Yeah, he's like, listen, I'll wait it out, bro.
The floor is lava in this case, or electrified. I don't want to mess with it. Good parry on the jab. That could have been death.
Listen, it's quarterfinals, and my team needs me to be patient so we can get the win. I'm down to wait. So I'll wait the entire time. Oh no.
Good shield.
Yeah. Gotta be careful. Pikachu just has so many good out of shield options. Oh wow.
Risked it all.
You gotta parry that up B, brother, to get that punish. Oh, there's a back air. Gonna put him at disadvantage on the stage again. Waiting for the deep forward air too. I think
There's a couple times he's gone for that.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that's gonna kill. You're at 170 something in Pikachu. You were living a little bit too long there, Rodent.
That got dangerous though, especially towards the end. I mean, Mr. L played that really good, and that's the sign of a dangerous player. Not only being able to take stocks quickly, but also being able to hold on to your own for so long. I mean, Smash is a game where as long as you've got a stock, you're still alive in the match, and Mr. L making great use of it, but unfortunately not able to take that second one off the board of Frostbite. So it's a 2-stock lead really for them, as now St. John's has to send in their last player.
Oh, and the question is, who are they going to send in? Because they could immediately go with the Anchor Thicko, right? Or they attempt to use one of the other players. They have a decent lineup. I think a lineup of 4. So they have options, right? They already used Mr. L. They used EGJ. So they could go for Alamola. They could go for Thicko. Or they could go for Bootleg, right? Either 3 of these players are still really good. I think personally, probably go for Thicko as your strongest anchor on the team, in my personal opinion. Or you go for Alamola. And we're actually going for Alamola. Okay.
Alomomola stepping into the ring. I was going to agree with you on the Thicko point, because Thicko's just got so many different characters that they play. Feels like they can play that counter pick war, but they're putting it all on Alomomola. This Joker, I mean, when they heat up, they are real difficult to stop. It's like dealing with a wrecking ball, but can they get to that momentum point, that turning point here against Frostbite? We'll have to see.
Yeah, we definitely have to see. Basically, right now, Aloma Mola, I'm gonna just call him Mola for my tongue's sake, is going to SD. And there are no homie stocks here in quarterfinals, everyone. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's tragic. He used the guns and he just held the button too long. I think he ended up doing the angle where you spin around in a full 360-degree circle. But now look at all the momentum Frostbite has. 66 already built up on the stock, but Arsene's here.
Oh, you playing a dangerous game off ledge, Mr. Mola. Gotta be careful. Ooh, this should be death right here. Yep. All right, good. That's one stock right there. Basically has 2 stocks left to take 4 stocks, right? If they manage to get this last kill over here on Frostbite. Arsene is off, so you're no longer S tier. You're back to being just A+. You gotta hold that. Nice quick back here.
Gotta find a way to take the stock, though, without dropping this one. You feel like they have a chance, but he got jabbed in the back air, and that's gonna be a tough spot for Aloma Mola. Now it's last stock apiece between these two, and there's still one Northwood player remaining. If Aloma Mola can take this one, it's still within arm's reach here for Frostbite to close this one out.
Absolutely. But there it is again. Roy's so good at starting off combos off of that grab. Tries to go for the forward smash. Nice attack again. Nice, good nair.
It just continues to throw that option out there, saying, I have no idea where you're going to go, so I'm going to try and cover as much space as possible. But the guns are going to help rack up that percent. Now Arsene is here. You got to feel like Frostbite's got to be near perfect on this stock, but this is a dangerous place to be. Downward guns. Those up airs from ledge have done so much work. And they're just going to die to the side B off the right side, and Frostbite's going to close out set number 1.
That was so good. So Frostbite in that situation did the first 2 strikes of side B. And of course, there's a lot of follow-up options. But there's also the option to just stop at the first 2. And originally, Aloma Mola probably thought he was going to stop after first and second hit to reset pressure on shield. But then ends up delaying and just going for side B one last time. And actually caught him the minute he dropped his shield. And he was not ready to DI correctly in that situation. What a way to lose your last stock. Oh, pain.
Unfortunate. The timing I mean, timing again has been, that first set, there was a lot of stuff that was just slightly off, or the timing had to be perfect for a couple different scenarios, and that's a mark that the players are playing on point. They're playing up to the standard that they expect themselves to be at here in quarterfinals. And Frostbite able to clutch that one out, taking I believe 5 or 4 stocks. Math, hold on. They took a lot. They took almost half the stocks in that set, considering that SGP ended up getting that 3 stock right off the bat, and they haven't even kind of revealed their hand as to who their third player could be, because Northwood also has a little bit of depth to their roster, 4 or 5 players that they could rely on.
Yeah, they still have Sensational or Copal to bring out. So we actually don't even know who their third person potentially is on this team. They won't be able to switch them right now. But potentially, we still have the King K. Rool pick. We have a Sora pick, a Lucina pick, a Captain Falcon pick, or a Sephiroth pick based off that alone. And we are now going into Game 2, SJU versus NU. We're actually going to start off with Aloma Mola versus SBP. Interesting.
Yeah, I actually like the switch up here. You get the Joker coming out early here. I believe this might be a button check, but no, they're going right into it. Never mind. He's just saying, approach me. I took the first set. I got a 3 stock on EJJ. Come at me. And
listen, sometimes you just got to stand there menacingly and let your opponent know, come to me, please.
Not afraid of your chip damage. Those side Bs and guns will only do so much. You got to hit me to kill me. And Northwood, none of the pressure on their back here. They took that first set.
And this is an interesting choice from St. John's to decide to go Aloma Mola Instead, I think Mr. L probably would have been a stronger pick, in my opinion, to have as the first pick. Oh, nice. Good back
ledge
here.
trump.
Yes.
Ledge trump into the back air there. We saw actually earlier Alomomola take that a somewhat similar stock via forward air, but I kind of expected back air that time around. So they'll be able to at least take the early lead for now. And Alomomola at 87, or I should say 99. Wow, that soccer ball is so much percent.
Bro, header is ridiculous in terms of percent it does. It only gets worse the minute they put on deep breathing as well. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you just gotta love the numbers game against this character, bro. So he's like, oh, there's only so much damage they could possibly do, right? And then all of a sudden your bar turns from yellow to red, and you're like, oh well, I'm at kill percent. Nice. I like this. Mola going for the death by 1,000 cuts, but you got side tilt because you messed up your tech chase and you died. Nice.
I'm in shock. I liked what Alomomola was almost going for there. He went for something spicy with the up tilt on the platform, but SGP got out of it. But now SGP once again off stage, eating tons of percent. That side B just continues to pepper away 3 in a row, but it's not going to take the stock quite yet. Gets back to stage there, and now look at the damage. I mean, this is a lot of rage on Wii Fit once more. This is kill percent for both of these characters.
That's such a wild thing to have to say about this.
Right?
So we are both at kill percent. How do you feel? Oh, yep. And you gotta be careful. Only so little of that arson meter left. Dash attack not gonna be able to get the kill, and there's the deep breathing again. I love it. He's like a League of Legends character, self-healing with a damage buff.
Life steal. I guess not quite, but
nice. Up here into the floor there, get a little bit extra damage. All right, gonna have to play this careful. Not seeing a lot of use of counter against the header right there to potentially build up that meter for Arsene as soon as possible.
You saw one good read of the Rebels guard used by Alomomola really early in this game, but since then it hasn't really been used. And again, the guns betray him. Just used that neutral B for a little too long, and now, I mean, you're looking at a dead even match. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but Mola doing great work with the edge guards right there. Jumps out of header's direction. Oh, completes deep breathing. And there's a forward tilt.
Oh, I thought he was going to grab the ledge, but the fact that Arsene came out, he's allowed to throw out that forward air, and it's just so much power behind it that's going to knock him away. SGP's got to be really careful here.
Yep, absolutely got to be careful. At 126, one back here from Arsene Joker could be the kill right here. At the same time, Joker at 77%, 89%. Oh my gosh.
It's been a lot of times that you're seeing Alomomola jump, just kind of threaten the guns or threaten this back air, and he's eating a ton of percent from the soccer ball because of it.
At one point, you got to stop threatening them, and you just got to do it. Trying to bait out Wii Fit, and then Wii Fit hard commits to the move, and you get hit by the move. That is the quickest way to just see death. Tries to stagger on shield, but going to get grabbed out of shield for it.
And the guns are not doing that much percent either. They only do about 1 or 2 maybe.
Wow.
He fell into the forward tilt though, and
lag
SGP comes up clutch again.
Yeah, that was a landing lag right there from doing guns so close to the ground in that situation. And then Wii Fit, listen, you're at 125. At this point, any tilt I'm going to do is going to kill you, especially when your character is light as Joker. Just high five. Just high five him right out of the game, bro.
I feel like that's one of those situations for Alomomola where, I mean, you saw how frequently he was jumping and how frequently he was threatening, and I agree with you. At some point, you just got to pull the trigger on it just to see if it'll catch or if they're spacing properly. But also, I also feel like Alomomola, you kind of get into that rhythm of, all right, I'm going to jump, I'm going to threaten the guns, I'm going to throw out the back air. And it was kind of rinse and repeat, and he got hit a couple times for it. But also you get into that rhythm of, okay, I just got to keep moving. I got to keep my feet, off the ground. I got to keep being everywhere, threatening all these options. I got to make him think faster. And then, you see at the end there, it's just, well, he's just playing for you. He's just waiting for you to come to him because of those quick options, because of things like forward tilt and up tilt that he has in his kit. That's what he was waiting was for you to come in the first place. And he fell for the trap in the last couple seconds there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, the trap was set up from the beginning when when SGP just stood in one spot while Mola was doing guns. I was like, he was proving from there. He's like, listen, I don't have to rush anything in this matchup. I can take it at my own pace, my own speed, and sooner or later you might just die. And just like that, he ended up dying. But we did take 2 stocks, so it was not a death in vain. The next player up will only have to take 1 stock away from SGP, and it is going to be Mr. L, who probably is like one of the strongest matchups into SJP on SJU's team. So I just think it's pretty strong. Pikachu having a really good, strong matchup against Wii Fit. Mr. L should be able to get this cleaned up with no worries. But the question is, will he lose a stock or not to SGP this time around?
That's the big question here, and I like kind of the game plan that St. John's has had coming into this second set to try and hold Mr. L for as long as they can, because Mr. L, very proficient on this character, has a lot of good matchups with this character, and playing around the Wii Fit too. Like, outside of Mr. L, kind of your next best character matchup is Alomamola's Joker. So if you can get as much as you can out of Alomamola to go up against this Wii Fit and then rock the Pikachu, only having to deal with 1 stock, it feels like the right spot for Mr. L to be in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mr. L playing this matchup just as well as he was last time. Nice cross up on chill with the forward there. Allows him to get a better, some more advantage right there. Oops. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Adios mijo.
Got hit by 1 neutral, the falling neutral air. I'm surprised that second hitbox actually came out in time, but now you look at that damage, you look at that percent, and yep, SGP wants no part of this. He wants no part of the stage at the moment. Mr. L says, all right, come back towards stage. I know it's safer here, come on. And he just does not want it, and oh my, nearly dying to the down air.
Oh, nice. I like that. The patience. He's like, listen, I'll wait right here for a second before I have to come back on stage. Nice. Catches the roll in with the up tilt. Oh, back here looking good again. Oh, tries to jump out of shield, but no movement right there at all from Mr. Al. He's like, listen, I need to keep all these stocks against you, bro. Oh, wow. That was forward tilt again. But it killed towards the ceiling.
Yeah, I thought that was up tilt the way he hit it. Yeah. But no, that was the back hit of forward tilt. I actually thought in that situation he got SGP to go high. I thought that was the one time he would pull the trigger on the down B, and he did not. And now he gets a down smash. But does he find anything more? Gets the back air. Jump.
Oh my gosh.
And he's able to make it back. And look at the damage now. 47% here. And back to neutral they go.
Absolutely. And right now, this is looking not too good for Mr. L. Every percent you take is just a more threat to your stock. Got to end this as soon as possible. You already lost 1 stock to SGP. You don't want to put yourself in disadvantage. And luckily, we catch the forward air. Going to catch SGP right out of header and put him back on the bench. Please stop that chef from cooking me and my team. Thank you.
So Mr. L gets the job done. They take care of SGP from the side of Northwood, but they drop a stock in doing so. So once again, Northwood holding that 1 stock lead. And I'm getting flashbacks to last set here. There was a 1 stock lead last time, and they ended up sending in Frostbite's Roy, and the Roy got the job done. Do you stray from that path at all here if you're Northwood?
I'm going to be honest. We keep in Frostbite. I don't think there's any reason to switch up who we're going to play against again. Frostbite seemed to have really good answers against Mr. L. And then against a light character like Pikachu, as long as you are spacing correctly, you get those sweet spots, you can kill very easily. One jab into back air, or like you could do near one, I think, into jab into back air. Like there's a lot of confirms that he has. A lot of good kill options, a lot of fast moves out of shields to stop Pikachu from kind of just bullying you on your shield, especially with up B out of shield, as long as you hit it in the right direction. So I see no reason to take Frostbite out of this position.
I think it's kind of funny. I came into this match thinking, okay, this is going to be a lot of fast-paced, rush down, heavy, just quick boxing type of action, just a lot of kind of scramble situations and a lot of fast-paced action. But I feel like the difference maker right now has been Northwood's patience, the patient play of players like SGP and Frostbite, waiting for players to get a little too aggressive at times or just trying to hit you, and they end up punishing with things out of shield, quick options, quick forward tilts, things like that rack up damage, and the conversions that they get off the back of it. I mean, everyone at this level now here in quarterfinals, you give them one opening and all of a sudden your percent's going to go from white to yellow to red really quickly. Every single one of these players can. And on top of that, right, you look at the cast of characters that Northwood has for this Pikachu matchup in general, all the players remaining, Frostbite seemed like they had a pretty good match, but they're going with Copel here on the King K rule. We'll get to see how many stocks this crocodile can take.
Wait, King K rule against Pikachu though? I don't know if I even want to look at how that matchup looks.
It's a bold option to say the least.
There's almost like no real good out of field option you have against Pikachu. To be honest, like your best one is Nair, but even then, the single hit of armor loses to a lot of Pikachu's multi hits. But there you go, put him in the blunderbuss. Nice, good forward there. Oh yeah, combo food time. Yep.
Okay. There's a couple of, and the interesting thing here, ooh, that's a lot of damage, all that armor, and they still get hit by the crown of the forward air. And while this is really rough, you got to remember my mercy, wow. Forget anything I was about to say. Mr. L saying, yeah, remember what? I remember it all. I know exactly what to do in this matchup. Takes that first stock with the spike and is already working on the second one.
Oh, you gotta be careful right there, brother. So again, like one of the biggest weaknesses of Cable, landing recovery on almost every move you got, brother. But then you get, sometimes you just kill. Look at the dash move. Oh no, that could have been very bad for Mr. L actually.
He's dipping real low there, and I mean Pikachu can afford to, but yeah, in a situation like that, I mean. We've seen in situations like this, and when you only need a stock, sometimes that suicide down air, it's an option in a format like this.
Absolutely, if I can kill you before I die, that stock is still mine. Nice, go reflect right there. I like the use of the crown to just kind of approach a neutral. Oh yeah, nice. That's the season 1, day 1 setup when everyone said Cable, man, Cable was broken. So he can do this. Look at this. Oh, gotta be careful.
Got around the crown. Oh, that neutral B was so good, just barely interrupting the blunderbuss.
No. He didn't realize his crown is still on the other side of the screen. It's sitting there waiting for you to pick it up, brother.
Now it's back. Well, only for a moment.
I like this. The short hop. Oh my goodness, that almost confirmed. Oh no, our neutral tool.
Wow. This is a tricky spot for both players to be in. You're seeing how patient both players are because, playing around these projectiles and the counter use also coming through there. Copel's got to be really careful.
Ooh.
And all this damage is starting to really pile on, but it's all chip damage, and heavies can afford to take that. You can't afford to take it if you're Pikachu. The dash attack comes through, the armor comes in clutch, and Copel shuts down Mr. L.
Yeah, that's the beauty though of playing a big body character. Even though you're gonna take your combo food, right? Let's be realistic. You are combo food. As long as you're willing to take those hits, you'll just get up to rage and it's like, listen, this is what I wanted all along. Chances are you'll probably die in like 2 hits. It's like, and there you saw in that situation, like even though he didn't get that many hits, all he needed was about 3 to 4 ground hits and about 1 to 2 projectiles to hit, and then boom, you get 1 dash attack in a situation where they overcommit, and now they just die.
Especially on a character like Pikachu, right? One of the lightest in the game. Like I said it before, the heavies are just meant for taking a stock or 2 off of the board. As long as you're willing to play that game, as long as you're willing to be at rage percent, if you can play good defense like Copel was doing there, then you can find ways back into the game, and they're able to shut down Mr. L. And they hold 2 stocks as well. That whole percentage gets reset entering this next match. And now you got to wonder, you look at the roster for St. John's, do you send in EJJ, who got 3 stocked in that first set, or do you possibly rely on someone that we haven't seen today so far, like Bootleg, like Thitco?
I'm gonna be honest. It depends on if we plan to even play EJJ anymore, right? Because you don't bring a player back who's already gotten 3 stocks. It's hard for them to get back in the groove of things, just mentality wise. So it becomes very difficult to like justify putting the player back in if you're not going to put him back in at this moment. Because if you don't put them in, right, and you win, there's no reason to put them back in for game 2. But then if you put them in and they lose, game's over. So do you put all that risk on EJJ's shoulders, or you just bring out someone like Titco? I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to put in Titco right now as my strongest player to kind of have to pick things up. He has a lot of different characters he could play, and K-Roll doesn't have a particularly good matchup spread in general, so you can play a really good high tier that covers a lot of matchups and just run with that into the next game against your opponent. So, but we are going to see what SJU, St. John's, baby, shouts to New York, holding it down. We're going to see who are they going to put up next against. I'm telling you, I'm willing to put money on the Thitco pick. I'm putting 5 doubloons. 5 doubloons on the Thitco. 5 doubloons.
I mean, yeah, I do agree. I mean, Thitco, you look at that cast of characters. I mean, I think most recently you've seen a little bit more of the Jigglypuff, but I mean, they've got a whole palette that they can choose from. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they ride with that. But I mean, this is SJU's season on the line here. This is quarterfinals. This is them down a set. They've rarely ever dropped a set. I'm not sure if we go back through the regular season if they've ever dropped one. They were perfect through the regular season. And Northwood also really strong regular season. The fact that they were able to take down the number 5 seed, and now they got to go up against the number 4. If this is back-to-back upsets, I mean, this is a team to watch out for. But St. John's, this is a lot of pressure on this last player, and it looks like it will, I believe, be EJJ stepping back into the ring. They're saying, we don't care that you got 3 stocked in that first match. We're betting it all on the monkey. Let's see if they can get it done here. They need to take the next 5 stocks to keep their season alive.
You know what? This right here is the canon fight right here. This is the closest you could get outside of just having Donkey Kong do this matchup. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do right here. Oh, nice. And this is a good matchup, I think, for Diddy Kong. Oh, nice.
Oh, he wanted the double. He almost got it, too.
Yeah, we are definitely double dipping right there, but a little bit of disadvantage is going to put you in a very bad place. Out in there, into the forward tilt. Oh, yes.
Forward air.
Look at that big boy is moving. Oh, no.
The drift.
I don't want to call it. But I want to say this right now. This might be it.
Wait. the way Copel's playing, it's getting dangerous now. And EJJ already down a stock. Certainly not a good sign, but there. Oh no! I mean that Nair is just so oppressive for EJJ right now. He can't find a way to get around it.
Oh yeah, so Nair is probably like, it is Cable's fastest move out of shields. It does have a hit of armor. It hits both sides, pretty active, and then relatively safe. Especially like if you do like fast falls with it. You can drift away from shield with it, drift across up. It's like 100% is his like bread and butter move. Any Cable will tell you. Oh, and speaking of bread and butters, this brother is getting toasted right now.
Copel's got EJJ down to their last stock here, and they're still at 103, and they missed the down air. Oh no, EJJ, they got to come up with something here and now. Got to find a way to take the stock. They don't find the forward air off of the falling there either, but they do catch the K-Rool landing with the forward smash, but it's still not enough.
Listen, his stomach is made of gold. Show some respect. All right. Don't worry, we can recover from that. Oh, unless, very good stuff right there from EJJ. Set it up. But I'm going to be honest, this is a terrible situation to be in. Even if you do beat Copel right here, there's one more player right behind him, and you only have a stock left.
It's one of those things where that Nair along the ledge, I mean, you got to feel like EJJ's got to roll, but he might have the down air spike. There gets one, but that's going to be it. And now the situation's reversed. Back throw, back off stage. Oh, my mercy!
Bing bong, right there with the back air. Gonna send EJJ and St. John's right into losers. Or even right out of it, actually. Yeah, this is it for them. They are out of the running. Am I correct? Or do we have a loser side?
No, I believe that's it. That was their last chance in the best of three, and oh my, what an emphatic way to end this series. Copel, who we did not see in that first set, getting the back air spike. That's got to be one of the most satisfying moves to land in Smash.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, that back air is one of the best things to land. I've seen many a King of Skill video. Shout out to Brent, where you just end it like that. It is beautiful to see. And right there, Copel putting in great work to give the win right there to Northwood. They're going to take it 2-0 against St. John's from 8-0 to 8-1. They lost when it really mattered the most. You hate to see it happen. But congratulations to Northwood and everyone there. They are going to be moving on next week to play. Who is it again?
They were awaiting the winner of University of Albany and Fisher White, and I believe that set's actually done. A 2-1 victory for Fisher White, the 9th seed, upsetting the number 1 overall seed in the bracket. So it's going to be the semifinal of Northwood, the 12 seed, going up against Fisher White, the 9 seed, and one of those teams is going to be in grand finals, but that's going to be a fun semifinal for sure.
Absolutely. And talk about upsets right there. Good stuff to Northwood. Again, congratulations to them. We will not have any interviews for our players tonight, so we ended it off here. It's your boy Acoustics. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Acoustics. And it's my boy, Soy. Tell them where they can find you at, Soy.
You can find me at the Twitter linked down below, but also shout outs to production, Esports U and ECAC for allowing us on the mic. We have a blast doing this every week, and it's going to be even more fun when the postseason continues on next week.
Absolutely. Until then, we will see you guys later.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big
Hey, what's up? It's Honix back at it again to bring you the sickest clips from ECAC. But listen guys, here's the thing. Overwatch 2 still isn't out, and it's been so long that I understand what's happening in the Valorant clips now. I don't know how I could have let this happen. Anyways, let's check out the action from week 2 of ECAC. First up, we've got Nico Baca, who's got a need for speed.
But they have to be careful here. That kick not quite in their favor. Patrick has to be quick to him, and Nico Baca, he's just soaring through the sky with way too much pace.
Yeah, you knew this was coming. When this one lingered up in the air for a bit too long from J-Neil's touch, Patrick tried to go up for this one, but Nico, like we said, he's been the fastest player in this lobby the entire...
Just a friendly reminder that fireworks always add pizzazz to your points.
Of this series.
Good read there by Chalk. Because if he didn't place down that block, that would have been a really early stock lead that he would have gotten. And wow, that nade.
Absolutely sniped out of midair.
Everyone is in flux when Mount St. Mary's is on the point.
That piece, and that is the bulk of your healing if you're Emery and Henry. Now you're coming in with both DPS ults and the Shatter, but again, a massive gravitic flux comes out from Mount St. Mary, stops them in their tracks before they can even get started.
Yeah, the tac vibes are gonna deal the final blows to several members of Emery and Henry.
Eve has got beef with BSU and wants everyone to know it.
One situation left to clutch it out.
Oh, no.
I'm a little bit afraid here that the wide swing's gonna come out, but Ian's waiting. Ian is being a little bit patient here. Eve is not going to be able to get the first one, and maybe if Ian was able to wait there a little bit longer, Eve would not have been able to get that free.
Someone, not me, is going to have to tell Talo Halo that sharing isn't always caring.
Gonna feed it, because right now Halo be fitting into it 59% before they have been touched for even a point of a percent in this counting. There is Arsene, but he may disappear just as quickly as he has up here. Oh my goodness, Kilomiles, that is a 0 to death if I have ever seen one. Halo.
Don't let your guard down. You never know when Rhino will come charging in.
Is all the way back. That just goes to show how much they're not wanting to make it, but Rhino with all the control gets the one on the board.
Talk about getting one in there. That he actually picks it up initially from a mini pass to himself. That an expert is expecting an expert to do something expertly, right? That is just about as simple as it gets, right? Just literally boiling it down to more basic Rocket League right there. Oh my God! And again, Rhino does it twice in about 30 seconds after no scores.
We're bringing it around town with Chowan University.
Big fights out short. Town, though, just gets the better of it. Great spray control. Takes 2 down with him, and already Chowan is looking at a 2-0 right now. Gonna try an entry onto the site with quickness. Not willing to take his foot off the pedal, and Town's got a third. The last 2 coming from CT, and Town wants to put the nail in the coffin right here, right now. One is there. He's gonna hear them both. He has a head in front of him. 4 before he goes down, and all it takes is Dusty to finish this one off.
Last but certainly not least, Big J5 coming in hot with a big 5K.
And Kentucky, they may get the second point for free.
Oh,
great
that
shot from
headshot.
Big J.
The second
another
headshot.
one!
What?
He's got another dragon already.
The third.
Wait, he finds 3. Big J, he's looking for a 4th. Oh my God, he finds it! He is single-handedly destroying Kentucky right now. Oh my goodness! 4 eliminations, 1 Hanzo, and a brand new Dragons Online. The question.
Wow, I miss these awesome clips, and it's only week 2, so make sure to keep up with the action on Twitch at ECAC_esports, Mondays and Tuesdays at 8, and Wednesdays at 7. And make sure to follow their Twitter at ECAC_esports. And thank you to our partner Esports U and to you for hanging out with me today. See you next time!
My name's Jacob. I'm 21 and it's my first year in this school. I already been to community college for the last 2 years, but I transferred here. It's a whole new program.
What made you transfer?
I wanted to do something different. I already have an associate's degree in business administration, and I wanted to come to this school and do audio production, just like music engineering stuff.
So what do you want to do with that?
The main goal is to work in like music studios and like help with like the music creation process. Anywhere kind of in the audio recording realm is fine with me.
And do you have a go-to genre of music that you like?
I don't know. It's all over the place, to be honest.
Yeah, no judgment.
It's
I
all
was
over,
just
it's all
wondering.
over the place.
So how do you like the program that you're in now? Do you like your school?
Yes, I really do like this school, and with this whole esport thing, I think it just made it a little bit better because like it's new, you know. It's you don't do it. Not everyone has it, and it's something that I'm very interested in and have been interested in for a while.
You didn't have esports at your old school?
I want to say there was a club, but I didn't know anything of it.
This is your first time being part of a collegiate esports team then?
Yes.
And how do you like it? Like how do you feel about it?
I love it.